Okay. Start that up and let's send the notifications out. Make sure everyone knows. Stuff like that, you know. Blah, 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 blah. Oh. 1 sec. I can't see chat right now, so just give me a sec, guys. Give me a chat. Okay. I'll just send it to Discord for today. Oh. Here we go. Kago. That's a very interesting thing for you to say. Control, hello. Because it's a positive, not a negative. How's my day? Work was annoying, but you know, it is what it is, you know? That kind of thing. Konbanwa, Karen. Karen? Konbanwa? Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. I said it every time. No, actually, no. I don't say it every time. It's just like work today was particularly annoying. Well, workmates were annoying. Someone said something earlier. Kieran, I hope you're joking. I wonder what shitty take he cooked this time. Are you okay? But yeah, no, this is a live today. I'm not putting. You guys know that I don't do like reacts to other content creators like Aspinumble, and I'm not gonna start doing that. Well, I don't want to start doing that. But there is something I do need to address. The issue is experience, not tuners. It's a bit of both, to be honest, mate. It depends. Okay, you either have a lot of experience and no tuners, or you either have a lot of tuners and no experience. And so maybe your issue is that, and that's fine, but not everyone is you. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people are having, is that they cannot see past their own perspective. And that is the problem. And that's something I want to address today. And I want to go through, and I've seen a lot of feedback, criticism, whatever, however you want to call it, to the system that I put out there, on how I think they could adjust the tuners echoes system at all. And some of it is fair. But I'd say a lot of it just does not understand what the people are saying, that just do not understand what they're talking about. And which is frustrating, because you would expect that they would. But it is what it is, you know? Have I seen Saint Tontus' reaction to your video? Yeah. That's the main one I have an issue with, I'll be honest. I mainly have an issue with that particular reaction. Like, I've seen Tectone's reaction, and we've spoken about that on stream. We spoke about that last night for about 10 something minutes. And on the whole, actually, Tectone, like, his initial reaction, I might have to like rewatch it or something like that. But his initial reaction, like, was really also quite negative. Like no. And when we spoke last night, it seemed like he wasn't watching the video. Like, he just heard me say, I don't mind the tuners being in the game. And he was like, wait, no, why? And I think he just switched off or something, because he said a few things that I very clearly stated several times. Like, when we spoke last night, he said, I just think it shouldn't be as free as you're making it out to be. If you'd given some like concrete numbers, I was like, wait. No, I gave some very concrete numbers. I gave some explicit numbers. I said 50 tuners for a reroll and 200 tuners for a stat selector. Which is funny, because before I'd given those numbers, it's like, if you'd given some concrete numbers, maybe like 100 or 200, I was like, wait, no, I did. I gave 200. No, that's too low. Wait, Tectone, you literally just said if you said 100, 200. Maybe you're just doing that as an example. I don't know. Hi, Chair. And yeah, I think what happened was, with his initial reaction, is that he heard me say, I don't agree with removing tuners. And that's his position. And I think he just switched off. Because when we spoke about it last night, in more detail, he was like, oh, wait, no, cool. Yeah. He doesn't agree, how easy it would be. I don't think it would be that easy. He doesn't agree with how easy the currency or whatever it would be. He says it shouldn't be that easy, and I agree. It shouldn't be that easy at all. It shouldn't be easy at all. It should not. Not at all. And but he's not against the system, and he's like, yeah, that system's definitely going to come to Wuthering Waves eventually. It's because they have it in PGR. So with PGR being Kuro, I mean, it's going to come to the game eventually, which would be cool. Taka, what? Ooh, wait. Infinite experience and showing substats is a disaster. You just want the game to die. Your point will make it so echo leveling, you would only need 25 level amount of experience for you to infinitely get perfect echoes. I want to read, I'm going to just copy or paste your comment because Chatterino doesn't work on for YouTube. So, right. Google Docs. I'm just going to copy and paste your chat, like exactly what you said. Because you are an absolute fucking moron. I'm not mincing words. I'm tired of dealing with idiots. Right. Right here. This is what you just said. This is what you just fucking said. Infinite experience and showing substats is a disaster. You just want the game to die. Your point will make it so echo leveling. Will make it so echo leveling. You would only need infinite experience and showing substats. Wait, you said it. Oh no, I think I'm gonna copy this up. 1 second. I'm an idiot. 1 second. I'm fine. Just hold on. You only need a level 25 level of amount of experience for you to infinitely get perfect echoes. 25 level amount of experience for you to what is going on? What is going on with this? Now this is fucking me up. I want to get your words correctly because what you just said was fucking stupid. Infinite experience. I'm going to start again. Infinite experience and showing substats is a disaster. You just want the game to die. Your point will make it so echo leveling. You would only need 25 level amount of experience for you to infinitely get perfect echoes. Do you know how fucking hard it is to get enough experience to level 1 echo to level 25? Just once. Just one time. Do you know how fucking hard it is? Even using the tacit fields, you need more wave plates than you get per day to get enough experience to level echoes to level an echo to 25. Right? You do realize that. It would not be easy. And then once you've leveled it to 25, you have no guarantee that you'll get perfect echoes each time for that one time. Do you know how fucking difficult it is to get one echo that will have the stats that you want? Any idea? You don't. If it was a guarantee thing, if it was a case where the echoes give you the guaranteed stats perfectly as they do in PGR, then yeah, you might have a point. But they don't. So you don't. Because you're a fucking moron. What the fuck are you talking about? You goddamn idiot. This is stupid. This is all fucking stupid. To 20 is very easy. To 25 is a bit harder because there's a massive jump up there. Right? And this is just getting it to level 25 at all. Let alone getting the stats that you want. And even then, say you've used your wave plates for the tacit fields. So you go running around the world and hunting echoes. Echoes are not guaranteed to drop. So you have the RNG on there. And then when you get the amount, as it currently stands, you do not get experience from echoes. But if you do get experience, I don't think it'd be that much at all. So you would have to go around and hunt a fucking shit ton of echoes to get enough experience tubes to level up to 25. To which then you go through the whole other rigmarole of RNG again. But in doing that, how would that cause the game to die? Because you're literally promoting playtime. You have to play the game in order to do that. Just for one fucking echo. And let me remind you, you need 5 echoes of the same set. Because when you're hunting echoes, you have no guarantee that it's going to be on the set that you want. You have no guarantee it's going to be on with the main set that you want. So you've already gone like through 3 different layers of RNG just before, even before you go to level 25 for one of these fucking echoes. You just want the game to die. No. No. Fuck off. As it currently stands, the RNG in Wuthering Waves is set to infinity. I'm saying it shouldn't be infinity, because that's fucking bullshit. Infinity is literally looking at the abyss and not seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. If people don't have hope, well, it becomes hopeless. Like, literally becomes hopeless. And when players become hopeless, they lose the drive to play the game in the first place, do they not? So what I'm saying is that there should be a system in place in the game to at least provide a light at the end of the tunnel. When a player can look at this system and look at this system in place and say, okay, if I put this amount of time in, if I put this amount of effort in, I can guarantee that I'm going to get what I want, what I earn for, what I'm working for. There's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. That promotes the grind. What's happening right now is with people that do not understand this thing that I'm explaining right now, they think, well, gacha players, they're used to it. It's fine. I mean, there's no problem. First of all, this is not a gacha issue because this system is not a gacha system. It's a very, very Hoyoverse system. And we're going to get to that later. But what you're talking about right now is something called survivorship bias. I'm going to pull it up. Pull it up right here. Survivorship bias is a type of sample selection bias that occurs when an individual mistakes a visible, successful subgroup as the entire group. In other words, survivorship bias occurs when an individual only considers the surviving observation without considering the data points that didn't survive the event. So, to explain this into layman's terms, because you are very clearly a layman, what you're saying is that you're saying all these players are continuing. It's like, oh, it's not an issue because all these players are continuing. But you're completely missing all the players that dropped it because of this fucking issue. There are a lot more players that drop these types of games that have this system because that level of RNG is fucking bullshit. Case in point, why do you think that the games that have this system in place, a la the Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ to some extent, they also are starting to implement some kind of artifact creator selection system? I wonder why. Maybe because they're starting to realize that they're losing players because players are getting tired of this fucking bullshit. Do you see what I'm saying? They drop because it's not for them? Okay. And just so we're clear, I'm not saying that, well, I understand that there are some systems which can benefit from having RNG, and my system that I laid out does not negate all RNG, like at all. There's still a lot of RNG in there. Even at the very last stage, there's still RNG. Because you cannot guarantee the amount of substat that you get. You can get 12.6% crit damage compared to the full stat of like a 21%. There's still levels of RNG in there. So there's always going to be the grind to get that perfect echo, you know? Because we all know that people strive for perfection. People grind for perfection. But what it is right now, people are grinding not for perfection, they're grinding for usability, for feasibility. People are just trying to get echoes, any echoes, that have the double crit rate, crit damage. generally speaking, there are some which don't, but there are people that are just grinding just to get crit rate and crit damage. Like all the three other stats, they don't give a fuck. They just want to get those two. But right now, even that's difficult. And if anyone says, oh no, it's not that difficult, I'll just have you know that I have been grinding. I said this to Saint, because I actually had a conversation with Saint earlier today for 2.5 hours, so we're going to get into that. Also, Gershline, thank you for the sub. I've been grinding the Sentry Construct for Carlotta since 2.0. Right? I've been grinding that construct since 2.0. We're like more than a month out now. I've done it every single day. I might have missed a day or two because like life, IRL, I have stuff to do, but I've grinded every single day. Killing it roughly about 10 to 15 times. And of those 10 to 15 times, I'm also hunting other echoes as well. Of those 10 to 15 times, I get maybe around 7 echoes from the Sentry Construct. And I'm just going to show you what happened today. In fact, my haul from today, shall I? I'll show you. Okay, I'm going to show you my haul from today. Sort by level, sort by time added. I've got some more in here, but this is just a few. This is just the 5 from today. Mind you, I've killed it. I've beat Sentry Construct at least 12, 13 times. And I've got 5 echoes. I've been doing other stuff. Crit damage, which is fine. Cool, crit damage. No crit rate in there. I'm like, no, fucking defense. Cool. Healing bonus. Cool. Another healing bonus. Cool. Another healing bonus. Fucking cool. And I'm getting this kind of luck every single fucking day. Right? I'm just trying to get one Sentry Construct with a double crit, with the main stat of crit whatever, and double crit in there. And I can't even get that. After more than a month. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. And you might just say, oh, you're like the edge case. There's no real reason to change everything for the edge case. Why? I'll bring up another example. Let's go back a couple of years. Yeah? No, is it 3 years or 4 years? Let's go back a couple of years. Genshin Impact. You know what system they had? Right? On their weapon banner, they had the pity, right? You get to pity, you get a 5-star. You might miss it. And then you'll get a guarantee of something on the banner the next time around. Cool. You all know where I'm going with this, right? You know how many times Tectone did that? And he missed it every single fucking time? Do you know the probability of that happening? Astronomical. But the thing is, though, it doesn't matter if it's astronomical. The fact that it is possible for that to happen in the first place is a fucking problem. And that needs to be addressed. Because right now, we do not have any mitigating factors in this system, like, at all. None. Zero. At all. So what they did is, once that happened, you know what Hoyo did? For all the problems I have with Hoyo, they addressed it. Imagine that. So yes, you should account for those outlying situations. Because they will happen. And I don't even think I'm an edge case. I think there's more people that have this, that have had this happen to them before. Let me see your max echoes in bag. Max echoes? Oh, you mean my max level echoes? Alright, sure. I've got, this is just one I've just thrown on there. Because I can't get another one. This one, I managed to get crit rate, crit damage on there. Low crit damage, but it's crit damage nonetheless. I need a better one for this one, because my Jinshi does shit damage, I swear. This one, single crit. Crit damage, crit on a fucking healing set. Thank you. I haven't leveled this one up. This one, just one single crit rate, but I mean, I want mainly attack percent, but I would prefer like energy regen on there. Crit rate, crit damage, fair. Low crit damage again. Crit rate, crit damage, cool. This one's alright, this one's pretty good, to be fair. Ish. Crit damage, no crit rate. Crit rate, okay, one there, cool. Crit rate, no crit damage. Crit rate, no crit damage. No. Yes, this is a good echo, actually. I'm saving this one, because I don't want to fucking throw it, because I'm getting barely fuck all. Right? Crit damage there, but no crit rate. Nope. Yes, that's all right. I'm saving this because I'm trying to build up that new set. Okay. Also, sure, just so we're all clear, my collateral right now still does not have this set. I'm still building. I'm still waiting to get the construct. That's why this is there with the level up. It's like, why don't you use it? I'm saving it. I'm just waiting for the Sentry's construct. Okay. Nope. No. Yes. Sorry. Crit damage there. This is decent. This one's all right. That's on Phoebe. That's crit. Yep. That's all right. That's all right. These are the ones I'm waiting for. These are the ones I'm saving. I'm trying to build up another set here for Spectral Rover. This one. This one. Yep. Nope. Nope. Yes. Sorry. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Nope. 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 Yes. So, I think I've proven my fucking point. RNG, unmitigated RNG, is a problem. If you think it isn't, you're a fucking moron. Well, I never had that issue. Well, not everyone is you, are they? This is my unlucky account. My other account that has about, say, 700 something gold tubes and also 5,000 tuners, I've got a lot of great echoes on that one. But that's why I haven't used so many tubes, and that's why I haven't used so many tuners. Because I am getting decent luck on that one. On this one, I'm getting shit luck, and I'm having to suffice with this bullshit. And let me show you again, just to prove here. 36. I've got some fucking tuners there, but I don't have the experience. Because I'm waiting for it. So, are we clear now? Just because you got lucky, and do not get it twisted, you got fucking lucky, because that's the name of this, it's random. It's random. There's no skill in there whatsoever. You say, well, I can't get lucky every time, can I? Well, I'm not saying every time, but you did get lucky. And I got unlucky on this account. Clearly. I'm tired. No, Vanel, I'm pretty chill, but I'm very tired. I'm really tired of these fucking morons coming in and saying, oh, well, did you do this? Did you do that? Yeah, I've done the +5 tune once system. I do that on both accounts. This account is just fucking cursed. Apparently. Right? So, I'm gonna do another run here. Hopefully my game doesn't fucking crash my OBS, because I've been having issues with OBS recently. Yeah. So, I'm gonna do another one, because I swear to God, I've been farming this for fucking ages, right? I'm just gonna do that. I just wanna break it. If we're gonna have less RNG, we could have... And I'm not saying there should be no RNG. I get the necessity of having some RNG. That's fine. What my system is... What happened there? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. What my system is, it allows for people to grind and have a guarantee eventually, not soon. People think that I'm expecting people to... that I want people to build a character within a week or something like that. No. You know what I expect people to build with the system I envisioned? Like how long it would take for people to build a character with good substats? Usable substats, not perfect. About a month or two. I think it should be about a month or two. Max. You know why? Because after that month or so is over, the next patch comes out. Well, let's reword that. A patch or two, shall we say. Because by the time that patch comes over, finishes, there's 2 more characters to come out. And in that time, well, let's not get it twisted, there are 2 new characters, on average, being brought out every patch. So you're grinding for one, you still have another one if you want to pull for that. But by the time you finish building this one, a whole new set of other characters come out. Which then you can do the entire grind all over again. And just so we're clear, I did not get another one. I did not. So I've killed this about 14 times today. Right? The broken feature is probably subset transfer. Yes. Remove flat substats. There are other ways to address this issue. Like Tectone's idea would be to remove substats entirely, which I think would bring it, would remove substats entirely. No, sorry. Misspoke. I misspoke. Would be to remove tuners entirely and have substats just be visible once you level it up. That would be basically the Genshin, the Hoyoverse system, which I don't think Kuro wants to do, because they were already getting like plagiarism accusations. That's why I think that's why they implemented this tuner system, to like give it a bit of a difference in there. Would be to remove tuners, have it visible, and then also remove basically half of the stats: flat attack, flat defense, flat HP. And yeah, so it would remove those and like greatly reduce the amount of RNG. If anything, because we have like 5 substats in total that you can get on one echo, how many substats does that leave? Attack percent, energy regen, crit rate, crit damage, basic attack, heavy attack, liberation, and skill. So, am I missing one? HP percent, maybe. So, out of like, say, 9 substats, you can get 5. So that's like almost a 50-50 chance that you could get the crit rate, crit damage. If anything, I think that's like more. I think that would break the game more, no? Am I nuts? HP percent, defense percent. Yeah, so I think that's in total like 9. 9 in total. Is 10k tuners a lot? Well, depends on how many you need. It'll make the game better. So, 10k tuners, just to address you, like under the system that I laid out, that would be able to get you just 2 sets of, I say perfect, like choice substat echoes. So you've got 2 characters perfectly built. 2. Cool. I want to like make some addendums to the system to address some things that I've heard. With the stat reroller, I think you should be, well, I should have said this in the video. I think it should be you can reroll once and then you can't reroll again. You can choose once and you can't choose again. It's like once you choose it, it's locked in. Because I can understand where things would get broken if that, but I think, yeah. Tuners can be bought with money, right? Okay, let's have a look. Bundles here. In this one, I do not see any tuners. Standard bundles here. I do not see any tuners here. Not in any of these packs. Nope. Level bundle. Well, level ones, no. From the item exchange. You can get from the item exchange. You can get them from here. So this is for the whales to get. You can get 60. 60 times 20. What's that? 1,200. So they can get enough tuners to like guarantee 1 and a bit perfect choice substats for 1 and a bit echoes. There's also I don't think there's no tuners here. No tuners here. So this is for the whales. Yeah. Tuners in the battle pass. Let's have a look. Battle pass. Yep. I don't know how many is it in total. Let's count. That's a crystal solvent. 50 tuners there. 50 there, so it's 100. 150. 250. And 250. So a total of 250. For the ones that buy the battle pass. Right? 250. Yeah. So 25 rolls, like just in general. But guys, it's just, I do not think the system I laid out is too easy. I just don't. I think it's fair. Hi, Bishop. I've run out of tuners before experience. It's really weird. It's really, really weird because it's like the community is split. Not on my system, but like there are people saying like it's not the tuners that's the problem. It's the echo experience. And there's the other side which is saying no, it's not the echo experience that's the issue. It's the tuners. I'm like, it's really fucking weird. And you know what the cause of this is? In the end of it, RNG. RNG. That's what it is. Like legit. On this account, you said echo experience for you. On this account, it's echo experience. On my other account, I have plenty of both. So I don't have that problem on that account. You know? It is both. Both. It's RNG for both. And I don't care what anyone says. Just because your experience is that, doesn't mean that's the same for everyone else. It's really fucking annoying that people are saying this shit. And they just need to shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. They just really do. They do not know what they're talking about. But I want to go through. More specific criticisms. And whatever. But like I said, at the end of the day, this is survivorship bias. It's this here. If you don't know what it is, read up on it. But we do need to address this. And I'm going to pull it up now. What I'm going to do is, I've already seen it, so this will not be a first reaction, but we are going to watch through Saint Tontus's video, reacting to me. And like I said,
Wuthering Waves is 6.
We have talked offline today. We talked for about 2.5 hours. So I have more clarity on his specific issues with my system. I'm just going to close this. I have more clarity on his specific issues with my system, and I'm looking to like provide clarity for you guys as well. Because when I've watching it the first time around, and then talking to him later, I think there was some miscommunication there. But like, yeah, I think we do need to address this. This is like a 12-minute video, but like, he really cut that down. All right, hang on. Because what I did before he made this video is that because I watched the stream, I actually recorded his entire stream. Not entire stream, the sections that he was reacting to me. And it was a lot longer. It was about 30 minutes. But let's just watch this video.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm gonna move
it
my
does
side.
look like there is another tragedy, another massive tragedy that has occurred in the Genshin Impact space.
Okay.
It looks like one of the most popular creators, right, who
Oh wait,
was
that's the wrong one. Idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. This one. That's the one.
playing field across.
There we go.
So, ladies.
Okay, yeah, so it's 26. Okay. I was so confused there. I was like, why did I press the wrong button? I'm an idiot.
And
but he's wrong.
Gentlemen, it does appear that good old Ryuku Sensei, Ryuku-san, is back at it again with another video. And this is pretty clearly titled as a critique for Wuthering Waves. And we're all experienced with Ryuku by now. We all know that the man has some of the hottest, but some of the most well-reasoned takes, sometimes, about the various gacha games that he's playing. And this is a pretty decently long 6-minute video about what he views as the biggest problem with the game. And so I'm excited to hear.
I just want to address something as well. I posted that and I said it's the biggest problem. I've had people say like, with a title like that, it makes it seem like I'm trying to say that Wuthering Waves is dying. I'm like, no. I love Wuthering Waves. It's great in a lot of aspects. I'm just saying, in that confine, for this game, it has some problems, and out of those problems, this is the biggest one, in my opinion. That's why it's Wuthering Waves' biggest problem. So that's why I titled it that way.
What his reasoning is all about, not pre-watched at all. And it's pretty clear from the description, right? It's a bit about echoes and tuners. So let's go ahead, let's get right on into it and see what he's on about. Take it away.
Farming and leveling echoes in Wuthering Waves sucks.
I agree.
Let me say that again. It sucks.
It does.
I enjoy so much about this game. The story, the characters, the exploration, the combat. But when it comes to actually finding and leveling echoes to be used in that combat, it's an absolute nightmare. In this video, I want to explain how I think Kuro could fix the...
Who agrees it's a nightmare, just out of curiosity? I mean, I think it's a fucking nightmare. Like, I fucking hate it. Well, I think I've proven why I hate it. Like, going for the main ones, you know? Farming, I appreciate that it's possible to infinitely farm echoes. That's fine. It can be grindy, but I don't mind the grind. It's the leveling that's the issue, mainly for me. But let's just continue. I'm finding the echo that you need. But that's farming, leveling, perfecting. There's like 3 different stages here. Perfecting or getting usable echoes, should I say, getting the substats.
The experience scarcity issue and also the tuner mechanic.
I love farming.
Now, before
by the
I
way.
start, I know I'm going to have people in the comments saying things like,
But it's like
there
leveling's
isn't an
annoying.
experience scarcity issue, you just have echo management issues. I've got hundreds of tubes and many characters build up. See, there's no problem with the game. It's you. If you just level them in the steps and tune them once, you can get more than enough to have several different steps with no problem. It's not experience that's the problem, it's the tuners. Yeah.
A bit behind the scenes. That thing that I sped up there, that was literally word for word, something that Saint said to me. Literally something that Saint said to me. So
You should know by now that there is not an experience issue with leveling echoes. This is a mismanagement issue.
I mean, he knows. I think he knows him. But
Problem. It's not experience that's the problem, it's the tuners.
like, you see, he knows. Like, and I've already spoken to him. Like, dude, no, like, we this is. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Shut the fuck up. Just because you personally haven't run into the issue doesn't mean it's not an issue. Especially when what determines whether you have enough experience or not is dependent solely on RNG. Case in point, I have 2 accounts, both at Unit level 80. How is it that on one account I have 800 tubes ready to go, but
Exactly.
on the other account
Yeah, so just so we're clear, on the other account that
80. How is it that on one account I have 800 tubes ready?
this number right now is roughly about 715 because I've used a few. And the tuners is also down to about 5,300 because again, I've used a few. But yeah, I have plenty. I have loads on this one account because it's been lucky. I've not had an issue.
To go, but on the other account I have literally 0 and struggling.
I guess your RNG was better on one account, but let me just...
So he gets the issue.
I feel like the existence of this account, isn't that almost a direct contradiction? This has...
No, it's not a contradiction because I have another account that is not the same. If I'm the constant and I'm managing my echoes a certain way, +5, +5, tune once, I'm doing that management system, and I've always been doing that management system. And I have 2 accounts, so I'm the constant, and that management system is the same constant. I have one account that's struggling and one account that's thriving. That kind of proves that it's not a case of the system that's been laid out there, which is why I have this amount of experience. No? Because I'm doing the same thing on the other account. So no, it doesn't disprove that at all. The constant stays the same. I'm the constant. I'm doing the management. I'm managing them this exact same way. So, it proves, actually, that the system doesn't fucking work. You know what it is? It's like the equivalent of like a placebo. You think it works because you're telling yourself it works. But if you're doing that system and you still get nothing but shit RNG, well, clearly, it doesn't fucking work. It can work if you get lucky. But it doesn't. Not all the time. Not even the majority of the time. You just feel it does. Like doing that system is a way to extend the amount of experience, the amount of rolls you can get in echoes. Sure. And that like can increase the chances, perhaps. But that's all it is. It's just increasing the chances. But at the end of the day, it's still just a fucking chance. It is random. random.
To be one of the most stacked fucking echo experience and tutor rich accounts I've ever seen. Unless he has actually no echoes on this fucking account and like nothing is leveled up, nothing is plus 25. This is actually
no, like I said, I've just closed Wuthering Waves, but on this account I have several different characters built up. They all have 25 and they all pretty much, I think all of them have crit damage on every single echo as well. And I went through the other account, which we all saw together, which was struggling, and you saw the kind of substats I had on there. So it's not a case of me willy-nilly using them on, like, just maxing everything out just for the sake of it and having, like, all the characters built. I don't have all my characters built up at all. I've just got a few. And even then, they have shit substats because the RNG on that account is dog shit.
Actually one of like the most resource-rich accounts I've ever fucking
seen. The lucky
seen.
account, the bastard account,
lie,
basically, yeah.
Sensei. The existence of this account almost, I don't want to say it like invalidates everything you're going to say across the rest of the video, but
no, it doesn't.
What the fuck is this?
Lucky.
What in the fuck is this?
Lucky, that's what it is.
This is the most tubes and tuners I've ever seen. What is even on here? Show the echoes, bro. Holy shit. This is insane. Oh my god.
Ready to go, but on the other account I have literally 0 and struggling. I'm doing everything exactly
How does this invalidate? I don't fucking know, man. It doesn't.
the same. Could it be that it's not the player that's the issue, maybe it's the game? So
well, this is the thing. It's echoes are an RNG fueled gear, and I guess he's basically stated that both accounts have like the same level of investment, have like the same type of echoes, like the same number leveled up to plus 25. And he's just had worse RNG on one account comparatively to the other. And
he gets it. He gets it.
And unfortunately, right, in an RNG-based gearing system, the highs and lows are built into the experience. You could spend one day grinding a character, and you just roll better. With the help of RNGs, you just roll better, and you complete the character build in a single day. On the other hand, right, with the RNG-based system, you could...
Yuka, you have 2,000 tuners. You are not struggling, buddy. Are you fucking stupid? Or are you just joking? I can't tell. If you're joking, please say you're joking. Please, for the love of God, say you're joking. Because I have all those tuners, but I have nothing to fucking use them on, do I? I don't know.
Roll and build echoes for a month, 2, 3,
I should
and
turn
still actually not have something ready to go. And I guess those highs and lows, right, are just a part of the gearing system. You would hope eventually that you'd have like a big win for a character. And there are other times, right, where you're going to be the biggest loser for a character. And so I guess that's what we're seeing across both of his accounts. One where he's a big winner and one where he's a bit of a loser.
See? He gets it. But it seems from there and from our conversations as well, is like, that's just RNG. That's just gacha. I'm like, there's a time and place, and there's also bounds of reason, like how far gacha should go. In my opinion, on the whole, gacha games get their name of gacha games because you're pulling on a gacha for the characters, you're pulling on a gacha for the weapons and such. This is a very new system. Having this level of RNG in just basic gear is too much. It's just too much.
Unfortunately.
issue, maybe it's the game. So anyone that wants to come at me with that can just fuck right off. Now with that out of the way, how to fix echoes and tuners in Wuthering Waves. First up, echoes.
I mean, it is... Can't we use the counter examples of somebody going ahead? They win every 50-50. And their pity is at like 40 for the limited characters, and they end up with like a god tier account, and then they're saying, oh man, the RNG on the gacha is so good. And then
but the problem with his example here, I don't know if you guys caught that. The problem with his example here is that gacha has a pity. It has a guarantee. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like if a player continues to collect Astrite, and continues to play the game and get Astrite and get the rewards and such, they will eventually get that character, guaranteed. But with Echoes, not really a thing, is it? It doesn't exist. There's nothing there at all. You can't guarantee shit, can you? You can increase your chances. The chances, like just in general, are like infinitesimally, astronomically small. Tiny, in fact. And you can increase that. If you increase a 0.1% chance by 20, 30, 1,000 even, that's still about 1% chance of it happening. To be fair, Pity is a new system. Well, it depends because some games just didn't really have it all. Some games did. I know what you're saying. Pity is a new system. And the reason why it is a new system is because not having that light at the end of the tunnel was a problem. Not having the light at the end of the tunnel is a problem. That's why they introduced it, because it needed to address and mitigate that problem. Right? That's why.
Then there's one person that loses a 50-50 on everything. Oh, the RNG on the gacha is so bad. It's kind of just all RNG though, right? At the end of the day, how much you end up using. So I hope maybe there's like a recognition of that in here and the focus is on how to limit RNG. We'll see.
And he's saying he hopes there's a way to limit RNG, and I think that's my tuner system. But we all know like how he reacted to that, don't we?
Up echoes. Specifically, the echo experience scarcity issue.
No, not
echo
Tectonic
experience should be infinitely farmable. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And how I think they should go about that is by implementing these 5 changes. We should be able to use useless echoes as experience fodder, which will take time, but at least it's free. The second one is the tacit suppression cost should be lowered from 60 to 30.
I'm going to wait for him to
If not,
respond.
then at the very least,
Okay, just what he says.
should be available 3 times every day. These increased rewards also apply to the amount of tuners too. And if you think that's too much, just wait until the next section because it will all make sense. Also, tacit domains should only have 1 type of echo set, not 2. I think they should also put these tacit fields in lore accurate regions as well, but that's not exactly necessary. The next
I heard like Saint expects players to limit the RNG somehow. Yeah, but he hates how I implemented it.
Okay, so the suggestions are just give me more of everything. At least by now. He said he's going to make more sense of it later, but right now it's just, I want more stuff. Wait, why are we making a video about the gacha? I want more polls. Give me more.
So here, I don't know, we had this conversation in his chat as well. I see that statement as strawmanning. He sees it as not strawmanning, he sees it as being an analogy. I see it as strawmanning because he's making an argument. He's saying that I'm basically using, I'm giving this argument, which is something I didn't say. Like, more polls, that affects the bottom line for these gacha companies. That's how they make money. I do not think that the grind loop for the echoes is where gacha games make their money. So that's like a different system. I think that's putting words in my mouth. But he says, no, that it's not, because it's an analogy, because it's like saying, you want more of this, so why don't we just give you more astrite too? Why don't we give you more pulls? I'm like, that's not what I said. If I was arguing for that, sure, feel free to call me out, because it does affect the bottom line, and that would lead to loss of revenue. And I completely agree with that. But with this here, nah. What if it's like Path of Exile type of grind? I mean, let's just talk about this first.
More astrite. Wuthering Waves has this massive problem. It's the gacha. Just give me more astrite. Just give me more pulls. Just give me more forgery challenge materials. Just give me more.
But they can't sell as many of their $3 tubes packs. You know that there's also a limit to how much they can buy on that? You know there's a limit, right? And even then, the cost for that isn't that much. You really think that they're making a lot of money? Like a shit ton of money? You think they're making a majority of their money by whales buying those packs, which are limited? There's a limit. If it was unlimited, then you could have like, oh, maybe the speculation that they're making a lot more money on there. But there's literally a limit that doesn't get refreshed until the next patch. How much money do you think they make off this? Off the tubes and tuners that's in the shop? How much do you think they make? How much money do you think they make on energy refills per patch? Because I don't know. This is pure speculation, but I don't think they make that much money. At least 1 million. Okay, let's say 1 million. And how much did they make last? I hate talking about revenue, but because we're on the conversation, how much did Wuthering Waves make last patch or the previous patch or whatever? Maybe say a low patch. How much do they make per low patch? Low patch. 28 million. I think a low patch is like, say, I think it was like 22, but then that's like, say, on mobile only. Low patch, 50 million. Again, proof, I would love to give that, but again, this is my speculation, and you feel free to disagree with my speculation. My speculation is that they do not make that much money on their energy refills and the tube pack, because like I said, it's limited. And also the energy refills are also limited. You can't do it infinitely. And even then, I don't think many of the whales are constantly fucking grinding the entire time. Because they'd also get really bored of that, wouldn't they not? I mean, no one can say. True, exactly. Again, this is my speculation. I think if they make, say, 50 million per patch, I think maybe 2 or 3 million of that is on people buying tubes or tubes. Max. Personally. I thought it was a quite common knowledge, or the common idea that it's the characters, it's the character banners and the weapon banners that make the money for these gacha games, isn't it not? I've never, in the entire time that we've been talking about gacha games, we've never said, oh yeah, this amount of tuners, they sold this amount of tuners, they made so much money on the tuner this time. We've never had that conversation. So why the fuck are we having that conversation now? It's always been, Phoebe made this much. Roche made this much. Jinshi made this much. It's always been about the characters and the weapon banner, is it not? So why the fuck are we like switching the thing? Oh no, they'd lose so much money if they do that. Like, how would the fuck would you know that? I don't know that, but I don't expect it to be too much. I don't think anybody spends on tuners. I think some people do. Some. Money is still money? True. But my counterpoint to that, KFC Jet, nice name by the way, is that I think, going back to the survivorship bias thing, of players that left because they can't be bothered to deal with this level of insane grind right now, like at all, should I say, is that if they gave a light at the end of the tunnel, the carrot on the stick that was going back to the Tectones conversation from yesterday, if they gave that, I think they can get a lot more players in. I think they could keep a lot more players. And if they keep more players, then that makes it more likely that they're going to also spend on the game. Would it not? I honestly think that this level of RNG for the ecosystem is driving away players. And when they're driving away players, they're also driving away possible customers. They're pushing away more money than they're getting from this level of RNG. That's my speculation. Although dude, if anyone has any like numbers on like how much money as a percentage that these games make, by these games I mean like Hoyo games like say Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ, and also with this game here, Wuthering Waves as well. If anyone has any concrete numbers like how much of this percent these games make from refreshing the energy per day and also buying tuners or tubes in the packs in this thing, if anyone's got any numbers for that, I would fucking love to see that. Because right now, this is my speculation, and I don't like going into speculation, but if anyone has numbers on that, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Because you guys know, I'm like the spreadsheet guy, right? I like to get my ducks in a row. I like to be as thorough as fucking possible. Not only refresh, but Battle Pass also have a lot of resources. Yeah, and do you think... Well, we counted how many tuners they would get. 250 tuners. Per patch. Right? And with my system, that would allow them to refresh re-roll a stat randomly 5 times, or choose one stat once. Ooh, it's going to break the game. They can make a new package. That's something that Tectone said as well. Like, if they do implement a system like mine that I laid out, that they should probably sell a tuner package as well. I don't know about that. I'm still on the fence, but I can see why, because whales would buy that. But again, that goes into more whatever. But like the argument that they're going to lose so much money from implementing the system that I laid out, they're going to lose so much money from that? I don't think so. And they say, okay, they won't lose money because they won't need to buy or whatever, but they lose money because people would leave because they wouldn't need to grind as much. And I'm arguing that they're already pushing away a lot of players because of the grind. Pros and cons here. And even then, I don't think whales that do that, I don't think they'd leave. Because guys, we all know what whales are like. We all know why they whale, right? We all know why whales spend so much money in the game, right? Because they like to feel better than others. Generally speaking, they like to S6 R5 their characters. They like to get the best, and they like to I've got this. This is something that I've got, and all those like free-to-play plebeians over there, they don't have that. I have that. I'm better. They like to feel that. We all know this. Let's not kid around. We all know that. And what I'm saying is that if they did implement my system as well, with using the tuners to choose perfect substats, what do you think is the chance that those same whales would also fork out a lot of fucking money so they can get enough tuners to get perfect 5 out of 5 substat echoes, full set for each character? 20 tuners to unlock, 80 tuners to reroll, tacit fields, 23k to 33k. I think it's, yeah. Whales are not sweaty players, I think. I think there's also that as well. I think the reason, because we're like mixing two different groups of whales. A lot of whales pay money because they don't want to do the grind. So those whales, they're not grinding anyway. And the whales that do grind, they're the type of players that would want to get 5 out of 5 perfect substats each time. For every character. For all sets. Wait. No one arguing about choosing the stats. We're talking about infinite experience and showing substats before using tuners. Is that your main point of contention? Because like I said, that you're able to see the substat, but again, in there, you still have a massive amount of RNG. The amount of grind you need to do to get the echo with those subsets in the first place is incredible. It's astronomical. And even then, you have no guarantee on what the rates would be. Like, you can get 12.6% crit damage on that crit damage stat there. Would you be okay with that? Would that suffice for you? Would you be fine with that? I think some people would be, to be fair. But I think a lot more players wouldn't. They would always be looking for another echo that has basically the same stats, but higher crit damage. Let's continue. That's not exactly necessary. The next thing we need is an echo experience only section at Yarn. We've got one for character experience and weapon we definitely do
experience.
this. I don't care what anyone says. We definitely do this one as well.
A nice to have thing they could also implement is to remove the non-set elemental damage buffs. If not this, then at the very least make it weighted so that you have a higher chance of getting an on-set elemental damage bonus. One thing, I saw this comment that was like, just blew my fucking mind. Someone was arguing against splitting up the tacit fields. I was like, oh, now I have to go to more tacit fields. I'm like, yeah, but at least when you do that, you can guarantee the set that you want, right? Because like, how fucking annoying is it? You're grinding a set for a particular character, and you're getting nothing but echoes for the other set. That's fucking. If you can guarantee that, I mean, whatever. That guy was an absolute moron. Yeah, someone was actually arguing against that. The new mode is that? No, it doesn't.
The new mode gives you some boxes where you can get a random echo from one of two. You still have the 50% RNG there. You do not have a choice selector, like at all.
I'm tired of getting Spectro on the Glacio set and Glacio on the Spectro set.
Right. This one here, I showed one example. This happened to me every single fucking day. And like I said, I've been trying to build my Carlotta since 2.0. This happened every single day. Every day. I got a Spectro on the Glacio set and I got a Glacio on the Spectro set. At least one. Like that. Every single day. It was so fucking rare. I got a Spectro on the Spectro set and I got a Glacio on the Glacio set. It was so rare. Every time.
Now these changes would address some of the echo experience issues and also some of the RNG, but let's not forget there's also another aspect to Wuthering Waves echoes, tuners.
And just everything that we've gone through with the echoes there, when I spoke to Tectone yesterday, he's like, yeah, no, I agree fully with everything you said in terms of echoes there. So he's also on the same page of like infinite experience farming and tacit fields, so we're all clear. So, yeah. St. Tontus doesn't agree. We've already gone through why.
Now, I've heard many people get annoyed and say...
So, I'm just going to kind of lead into the viewpoint
Here we go.
I've had about echoes.
Here we
basically
go.
relating them to every other gear type available in gacha gaming. Or at least like...
Every other gear type in gacha gaming. This is a thing that I took severe issue with. Because it sounds like every other gear system in gacha gaming. I want to like replay.
Echoes, basically relating them to every other gear type available in gacha gaming.
Every other gear type in gacha gaming. So he's talking about like every gear type in like every gacha game. Well, he didn't say every gacha game, but he said every other gear type in gacha gaming, like general. And I took severe issue with that. Severe issue with that. Because Saint has not played any other gacha games except Hoyoverse games and Wuthering Waves. Although quite recently he has been playing Limbus Company, which doesn't have that system from what I understand, which is strange. Interesting. So he literally does not know what he's talking about. There are dozens of gacha games that have been released in EN. There are hundreds of gacha games in Japan that I know of personally that do not have this system. And they make bank. Severe bank. Massive bank. And they don't have that system. They do allow for you to get the thing to equip to your character and you get guaranteed stats. There's nothing. So when he says like every other gear system in gacha gaming, no, and I clarified, he's like, no, he said to me, I mean, of the big four. And I'm trying to paraphrase, I'm trying to quote him now. And he said, I think it's quite obvious that's what I mean. I'm sorry, but no. When you make a statement like that, it's not obvious that's what you mean. Because you're speaking with some degree of authority, as if you know what you're talking about, and you make such a blatantly disprovable, ignorant statement. Because there are more systems out there in gacha games that do not have the system than the ones you're talking about. I listed several of them off in the other video. People have been saying in the chat today, there's like PGR, Fate Grand Order, Arc Knights, Path to Nowhere. Some other games that you guys might not know about, such as Orient Arcadia. I don't think that's in EN. I played that in JP. There are also like other games like I think Idolish as well. Idolish doesn't have that. There's so many. There's so many gacha games that do not have that system. Kankoli, yeah, okay. They just do not have that system at all. And Granblue Fantasy, okay, yep. Nikkei, for their base gearing system, they do not have RNG, but for the overload system, they do have RNG. But guess what? In Nikkei, with that thing where they do have RNG, they also have interestingly, stat rerollers and lock functions. So it is actually possible to eventually guarantee that you can get gear with that, which we're skipping ahead here, but I did manage to, like I said, talk to him, and we'll get to it. Bit of a spoiler, he's not against being able to reroll stats, and he's not against a substat selector, but we're going to get into that in a moment. I do not want to put words in his mouth, and I want to make sure you guys know what his stance truly is. I'm not going to misrepresent him at all. I'm not here to defend him. Clearly, I'm not here to defend him. But I want you guys to know what his stance actually is, because I think the way he worded it in this video was very bad. And it led to a lot of miscommunication. Like, even in his comment section as well. Whatever, but we'll continue.
Or at least like the most popular gacha games. It's
at least continue, or at least the most popular gacha games. Like, he makes a clarification there of like the most popular. So he's talking about the big four, as in Hoyoverse games, which is infuriating because whatever. For the reasons I
the gear treadmill is one of the main things that keeps at least the most well-invested players coming back. And casual players that are just completing the story don't necessarily care about the gear, or they don't really care about the gear treadmill. They'll just plus 25 a bunch of random shit, equip it, and then go blow up all the story content and, you know, roll with it that way. The people that are caring the most about echoes, the people that are caring the most about scarcity are the people that are playing the game the most. Because to have a scarcity in your echoes, to have scarcity in the materials that you're using to level them up, you have to farm a bunch of them and actually use those materials in the first place. And so this is the thing, right?
Right. So it's from here, and also my conversation with him earlier today, he's saying that the reason why people continue to play is because people are coming back to do the grind in the domains and in the tacit fields and whatever. And that's why people come back. And that's why people keep coming back to these games. I don't agree. I think that's what they do when they come back each day, but that's not why they come back each day. I think the reason why players continue to play these games is for the characters, is for the story, is for the challenges, the mini events, the side quests. And this grind thing is just something on the side that you should probably do, because it's another thing. I'm like, why not? It is a thing that people do when they come each day. When they come each day. Sorry, I'm a fucking child. The tacit field grind is something that they do each day, but that's not why they play each day. Right? Like ZZZ, for example. You could literally do your dailies and not do the grind for the gear system. You can literally just do this and not do the grind. And from what I understand, I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people do log into ZZZ. They get the coffee. They do the scratch card. They do the videotapes, and they open the shop. Collect. Log off. I think a lot of people do that, personally. Invite Genazad, he grinds daily. That's the thing, though. I'm speaking like fucking Saint here. People such as Saint and Genazad and Fob and such. I don't know what Genazad's take is on my system, just so we're clear. So I'm just for content creators in general, is that they're playing these games as a job, like literally as a job. So they're playing these games for like 5, 6, 7 hours per day. Right? Most people do not have that time. I think most people play this game, these games, should I say, for 15, 20 minutes, or maybe an hour, 2 hours, generally per day. And then maybe longer on the weekend, depending, you know? So with him, like he's spent hours per day hours and hours and hours per day, just grinding, just doing the grind loop to get those echoes. So he's literally increasing his chances sevenfold, multiple times over there. So, and he's like putting his experience as like the experience, the player experience. And that's just a logical jump that you can't really make. It's not correct. That's a stupid thing to say. It's like the same thing, like going back to Genshin as well, like MTash, for example. I'm glad he's moved on. MTash would burn out because he would clear content, all of it, in like the first day or two. And then he's got nothing else to do for the rest of the patch. Most players, again, this is speculation here, so we'll see. I don't think most players are doing that. I think most players are doing this like piecemeal, drip by drip. So they always have stuff to do per day. But content creators such as Saint, MTash, Fob, Genozad, Tecton, whatever, they're playing these games literally as their job, and they're investing hours and hours and hours per day. So for him to like equate his experience as the experience that everyone else has, I just think that's misguided. It's wrong. It's a stupid thing to say. It's a stupid thing to think as well. So Fob also max refreshes in every game every day. Yeah. If everything about Echoes was grindable without wave plates, there's actually a possibility I would never play any other game and spend hours. I mean, Bishop, I'm also with you. Like I love grinding. Like I come from like MMOs as well. I've got, oh god, the amount of hours I've spent into like RuneScape, for example. RuneScape, and then also like Warframe as well. Whatever, but yeah, I'm very much in that side of things. But
right, it is one of like the main sources of progression for people, RNG gated progression, where you always have something to do, you always have something to grind in the game, and that's kind of like.
Citizen, not trying to be rude, but I want to know if there is any time where you admitted you were wrong. Just asking. I've admitted I'm wrong quite a few times, actually. Like say for example, with the conversation with Tecton, like where I said that you could still have tuners to unlock the stat. You can see the stat, but you use tuners to unlock it. And Tecton was like, "There's no point. It's minus -10." I was like, "Yeah, no, that's fair. That I get that." So I admit I was wrong on that part. I was like, and I said that to him last night as well. I was like, "Yeah, you're right on that one." So for that part of the unlock thing, sure, remove that if you want. That's fine. I can agree with that. So yeah, I do admit I'm wrong quite often, actually.
Like where that daily login, that whole incentive to actually come online and spend your wave plates comes from. Because every other source of progression in the game has a cap. You'll eventually get your characters to level 90. You'll eventually get all of your abilities and like your fortes, all that stuff to level 10. And once all of that is complete, and once all of that is done and ready to go, level up the weapon as well, there is actually nothing left to do in the game other than grind echoes. That's the only thing that's left. And the fact that they're completely RNG, the fact that sometimes you can win crazy big on the day of release, or you can be grinding a character for like months, that's kind of like where that element comes from. And as long as the game stays in a state where you don't need perfect best in slot echoes to do.
Okay. He's just made a logical leap there, but we're going to go back. He's just touched on like every other thing in the game, every other mode of progression in the game, such as the skills, leveling characters, leveling the weapons, such that's all got a cap, and you are going to get that eventually. And he's saying that you need this RNG system for echoes to keep players returning, to keep players wanting to come back and build those echoes for that character. And if this game only had one character, I would completely agree with him. I would completely fucking agree with him. If this was like an MMO where you got one character, you're playing as that one character, it's just Rover, you have no other characters, I would 100% be on his side. But the fact of the matter is that there's a new character brought out into these games every 3 weeks, basically, ideally. So there's 2 characters per patch, first half, second half, and each patch is roughly about 6 weeks. So we have 1 character for 3 weeks, a second character for another 3 weeks. So there's no, ideally, now this is going real fucking ideal. Like, ideally, there's no reason to have that RNG be infinite. Ideally, you could create a system where it allows the players to get to build the skills, to build the character, to build the weapon, and also build decent, not perfect, just so we're all clear, to build decent echoes within, I'm going to say, 6 weeks, 1 patch. So you can build 1, and you're behind 1. And once you've done 1, another 2 come out. So you're behind 3. So you start building another 1. So you're behind 2. And then it comes. So that way, you do still always have something to do in the game. Do you not? Because I think that's what people are usually play the game for, right? No? If we can implement a system that allows players to eventually, with significant grind and effort, again, building up the playability in here, if we implement a system which allows the players to guarantee eventually decent substats on a set of echoes for 1 character within roughly a patch, I think that's fair. But right now it's set to infinite. Like I said, Carlotta came out. I'm still building Carlotta. Roger came out. I haven't built her yet, really. I have echoes on her, but they're not good echoes. Also, Phoebe came out. Phoebe, I gave her Rover's set. So I built Rover from like 1.0. So cool. A whole year of grinding. That set I put on Phoebe. Now she's workable. Cool. But that's if I didn't have that set for another character, she'd have nothing either. I'd still be underwater. And there are other characters as well I still haven't already built. You know? So, and then there's also the case of Brant coming out as well. Saint made a video, and everyone's made a video about how difficult it is to build Brant. No, right? So if Kuro is going in this direction where they're consistently making characters that have more difficult to build characters, such as Brant, and they still keep the same level of RNG and all this other thing, it's going to be a very fucking big issue. No one knows because to RNG. True. Taka, I don't think you're understanding. It's literally RNG. You keep getting stuck on, like, if you can see the substats, then there's no point. I'm like, dude, how often have you gotten perfect substats in an Echo? And if you've gotten quite often, congratulations, you're very fucking lucky. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. Luck. Right? And that's just for one Echo. One Echo, you need 5 for one character. And there's 29 characters. Can you do 5 times 29? Can you do math? Just do that math for me. And then see how many times you need to do that to build all the characters. Right? Do that. Then get back. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Deal with the end game content like Whimpering Waste or the Tower of Adversity. Okay. That, in my opinion, is, unless that threshold of Echo investment required to clear raises dramatically, I don't think it's necessarily the biggest problem ever.
Okay, so what he just said there is something that I never said. And this is where it gets into the conversation of, like, he's strawmanning, in my opinion. I never said in my video, like, at all, that we need this. Never said it. And his counterpoint to that, when we were talking later, is that, well, if you don't need it, why ask for it? Okay. Let's just rewind about 3 or 4 weeks, shall we? We don't need echo loadouts, do we? But we ask for them because they'd be like a nice to have, right? Sometimes they're just things that are nice to have. We don't need perfect echoes. I'm not asking for perfect echoes. I'm asking for something to guarantee usable, decent echoes. We don't need them, but I would like to build my characters. So I like to have my characters built, even if I don't fucking use them. Because I might use them eventually one day for something. We don't need 2 times claim, but it sure is good for the game. Exactly, Btex. So this focus that he's going on about like how, well, you don't need it to clear the endgame, do you? No. Never said you did. So what? What's that got to do with anything? People like to build characters. Like I point out in the video later on about Dynasty Warriors, for example. I swear to God, I've done this several different times, like several different, because I love Dynasty Warriors. It's a great fucking game. But I will spend hours upon hours upon hours building literally every single fucking character in the game. And then after I've built them all, and I've cleared everything, I've 100% the game. And then I don't play anymore. But you know what the difference is here? Is that this is a live service game. By the time I've built all the previous characters, there's been like another 50 that have come out. So there's always going to be new characters coming out for me to build. So I will never run into the issue where I will quit. Because there's always going to be content. There's always going to be a new character. There's always going to be another carrot on the stick in front of me for me to build. No? This is a stupid argument.
Because people would be going from a 2-minute clear to like a 45-second clear when they start min-maxing their echoes.
And what is the problem with that? And that's the thing as well. Just because people can clear the 2-minute mark on the Tower of Adversity, people like to get faster. People like to challenge themselves. That's another thing that people like to do. So if people can grind for more echoes that gives them better substats, maybe they've got a decent set. And they've got like a few, like some tuners. Use my system. They've got like tuners left over, right? Like, oh shit, I can guarantee another one. I can guarantee attack percent on this echo if I do that. And they're gonna use that. They're gonna use the tuners to do that because they want to get that clear just a little bit faster by seconds. That's what people do. That's literally the nature of gamers. That's what gamers do. Not all. There are some casuals that don't bother with the Tower of Adversity in the first place. But the players that actually bother with the Tower of Adversity, that's what they do. That's what they do. So, like, him basically saying, like, so what? You can clear it, like, faster. It doesn't matter. So, no. People want to do that. And that's why they will constantly grind for perfection.
And, you know, that's 1 minute and 15 fucking seconds of just them, like, sitting around with unused time in their clears. Or you could think of it as, like, going over the point threshold for max rewards and Whimpering Wastes.
Yeah,
and so
people like to do that.
I could see the massive issues, right, with the echo system if the game was like HSR, where you need perfect min-maxed echoes to actually clear the endgame modes in the first place. And if you don't have perfect min-maxed stuff, you don't get the 10 cycle clear and you don't get the full rewards. But until or if Wuthering Waves gets there, you know, it's just like I just want to min-max my echoes and I want to do it right now.
Okay. So, again, to reiterate, his point is that unless it gets to a point where you need perfect echoes to clear endgame content, then there's no necessity to have this kind of system implemented because it's just not necessary. And again, that's a point I never made. So I don't know why he addressed that, but I think the reason why he said that is because that's the reason why he's against it, because there's no necessity. I'm like, it's not about necessity here, and I never said it was. So, Photon Ray, I missed the point. Photon Ray, again, what did I miss? I'm strawmanning? Guys, am I strawmanning right now? He literally said, because you can clear all the content with subpar echoes, there's no need for it. And like I said, I've spoken to him for 2.5 hours to clarify if I'm getting that correct or not. Photon Ray. Saint's point is that if you want to min-maxing, then wait, not right now. And I never said right now. I never said right now. My system does not allow for right now. If my system allows, like, you can, like, max every character, like, day one, you get them? No. But you know what system does have that? Arknights, by the way. You know what games makes a lot of money? Arknights, by the way. You can literally pull a character in Arknights and max them the fuck out in the same day. So, no. That's a stupid thing to say. Pull and max in the same day. Then this system is good? In the current iteration of this system, no, it's not good. It's not good. You have no frame of reference. You have no frame of reference to say when you will be able to build a character to have decent subsets. Not even perfect subsets, just any decent subsets. At all. None. Because the RNG is that bad. That's not good. I don't care what you say. You are wrong. As someone that has played a shit ton of gacha games, more than I think you will ever play in your life, by the way, yeah, I am him. That's a fucking joke, by the way. But I have played a lot of gacha games. A lot of gacha games in Japan as well, which are a lot more predatory. And even the predatory ones do not have this. You finished the end game? Why rushing? It's... Fuck, Photon Ray, you are a moron. Dude. It's not about the endgame. I do not mention the endgame in this video at all. Shut the fuck up.
Another aspect to Wuthering Waves echoes, tuners. Now, I've heard many people get annoyed and say that they should just remove tuners altogether, and quite frankly, I don't really agree. Like, I get it, I totally get it, but I'm going to argue that Kuro should keep them in the game. However, I think there should also be a massive overhaul about how tuners are used in-game. This is how they fix tuners.
It's really interesting that at this point, Saint's like, yeah, okay, cool, yep. And he's agreed, but the first time like Tectone heard that, he was like, nah, why? It's really funny between the two.
Right now, when you upgrade an Echo at levels 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25, new subsets are unlocked after you tune them for 10 each.
I just shit myself. Sorry. Give me 1 second to recover.
Okay. Just so we're clear, I did this on the account that I have a lot more tubes on. So I was like, I did this for the B-roll. I did this for the B-roll. Because I'm a content creator. I do things for the B-roll. You know? I know it's not the best way to do things. Saint knows this. I don't know why. Whatever.
Tune them for 10 each.
I just shit myself. Sorry. Give me 1 second to recover.
All right.
Oh, yeah. That's what... Oh, yes, Ryuku-san. You did it again, buddy. Boom.
10 each. And if you get bad rolls on subset R...
And just notice, by the way, I got crit rate and crit damage on that. Low crit damage. Crit rate. But just so we're all clear,
RNG, you can recycle these echoes to get a portion of that experience and
I didn't actually recycle it. I didn't. I just did this for the B-roll. I'm a fucking content creator, guys. That's what I do.
Tuners back to reuse. However, what I think they should do is that at those respective levels, the subset type, but not the amount, should be visible. However, they are locked and do not affect any character that equips them until you tune them.
I'm going to addend this now. Check that out. I'm gonna concede that I think this is perfectly fine, and this still keeps the system as is. But to placate people that really do not like tuning, like doing this tuning, should I say? Sure, take it out. I don't really mind. I don't really care. I don't really care. Whatever. They should all be visible.
Players decide when and where to effectively and efficiently use these tuners. But here are the new mechanics I think they should implement. Right now, the cost to tune an Echo is 10, but for 5 times that amount, 50 tuners, they should allow you to re-roll the subset
this is where we get into it
before unlocking
properly,
which is where you get hit with some more RNG to determine how much attack percent you get, for example. So RNG plays a role in what other subset you get and also how much of that subset you get as well. But that's not all.
So there's 2 layers of RNG, 2 massive layers of RNG. Like I said, you have to go through like, because I haven't removed the flat attack, flat HP, all that. So they've got like, you got to go through 10 different substats, and then for each subset, you got to go through like, I think it's 8 or we'll show it later on, like another 8 or 10 different layers. So that's like 1 in 80. 1 in 80.
I don't think this suggestion is very good at all. I think that this would turn the game way too easy if you're paying money. Think about.
So way too easy if you're paying money, but we've already gone through, I showed it on stream earlier, that you can't buy that many tuners in the shop. So, and you don't really get that many tuners from refreshing the energy either. You don't. So, no, it wouldn't. And even if they did pay to refresh the energy to get the minuscule amount of tuners, then that would also promote money going towards the company, right? It would definitely 100% work. Waveplate caps, exactly.
About it this way, guys. You're basically now guaranteeing perfect echoes at the cost of a lot of tuners, and you have essentially put in a massive pay-to-win route to getting perfect echoes.
No, it's not perfect echoes. I tried to get this answer out of him earlier today as well. I wanted to hear what he meant by perfect echoes, because I don't think it's perfect. If he means like the perfect set of echoes, eventually, sure, perhaps, if you're lucky, like if you get enough tuners, yeah. But like even then, you still have high rolls and low rolls, so they will never be perfect. Well, almost never be perfect. You'd have to go through like literally another 8, a lot more fucking RNG to get high rolls on all 5 substats. I don't know what he's talking about pay to win, because you can't buy that many tuners. Which actually goes to Tecton's point, because Tecton said if they did allow you to pay for tuners, then he'd be more in favor of it. But then he's like, no, if you can pay for it, then he's more against it. I don't know, man.
And now, like, the playing field across players is dramatically shifted. Shifted. To the point where, like, somebody's just going to buy a fuck ton of tuners from the shop. They buy a fuck ton of tuners from the shop, and then they just keep re-rolling those substats until they're perfect.
This is my bad. This is where I should have clarified, and I didn't, and I do apologize. I think it's like you re-roll a substat, and that's it. You get what you're given. Just to addendum that. Once it's locked in, should I say. But, yeah, nah. And then on the point of like, it will shift the balance of power between players, I'm like, it's already there anyway. Like, whales are already S6ing, R5ing all their characters. It doesn't matter if a free-to-play player that has like an S0, R1, and they have perfect echoes. It doesn't matter if they have literally perfect fucking echoes. If they have S0, R1, they are not doing more damage than S6, R5. They're just not. It doesn't matter. Like, at all. So the power imbalance is already there. And even if it wasn't, and this does implement a power imbalance anyway, so fucking what? This is a PvE game. This is not a PvP game. If this is a PvP game, absolutely. Absolutely. Nah. You can't do that. Definitely can't do that. But it's not. So they can. And they should. Because it doesn't matter. Because it promotes whales to spend more to get more tuners, because they want to get those perfect stats, because you know what they're like. And then it also gives free-to-play players something to fucking aim for. Like something guaranteed, something concrete to aim for.
And I guess this is the thing. When you have like dynamics like that in a game that lets you basically just massive leaps and strides, like start outpacing every other player if you start spending some money.
Already in the game, bro.
That can be a bit of an issue for a lot of people that aren't
already in the game.
And this is the thing. The advantages that you get in WoWA are pretty clear for spending wave plates, right? You can go ahead, you can farm more, you can do more Tassa fields, you can get yourself more access to more tuners and stuff like that. But it's like, gear to me is kind of like the big equalizer for a lot of players, where
there's no equalizing going on. It doesn't matter if you have literally perfect max roll substats for every echo on a character. They are not doing more damage than the S6R5. They're just not. There's no equalizer.
where it's almost like a chip on the shoulder for either like a free-to-play or a low spender to be able to be like, yeah, I've got a perfect echo. And there could be that whale over there, that big whaler, who is going to be farming for this perfect echo forever, but I got it before they did.
It's pointless. It doesn't matter. I mean, what? There's also whales that also have these amazing... This is a stupid argument because whales can do literally the exact same thing. There is no equalizer. Well, I guess in that sense, it is an equalizer, sure. But like at the end of the day, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? If I get a perfect echo, how am I gonna show this? How am I gonna show this to someone saying, "Oh, you're a whale? Oh, look at my echo." I'm not. I don't care. I'm not getting the perfect echo for them to show off to them. I'm just not. I want that echo for me, for the character. If I managed to, if my system did get implemented, a similar system to mine did get implemented, and then I got all 5 substats max rolled, would that not also be a great equalizer? No? I think it would, because free-to-play players can do that. And also, whales can do that. Whales could probably do that more easily and more quickly, but they'd still be subject to the same amount of RNG. No? No? So in that case, there would still be that level of equality. Don't you think?
And that's kind of like a nice thing in a game like this, which is obviously dominated by power boosts from sequence nodes, power boosts from like weapon refinements.
Yep.
Having like that kind of like big equalizer in there is, I think, what motivates the grind for a lot of people.
Guys, show of hands, who is grinding echoes just so they can show off and throw it in the faces of whales? Who cares? Who cares? Me? Fair. Who actually cares? Photon Ray? Cool. Me, it's fun. Yeah, again, just me, Taka. Not me. So we got Taka, Hail Saint Tontus, and Photon Ray saying me. Taka, I've already read your comment, dude. So the 3 people that are disagreeing with me, because they're... I mean, Hail Saint Tontus literally has Saint Tontus' name. Yeah. So they're saying me. And like pretty much everyone else is saying no. Dude, no one fucking cares. No one fucking cares. At all. If you if you get an echo that's got really great substats, and you're happy about that and you're proud about that, fine, cool. But do you think that makes you feel does that make you feel better than a whale? In any way, shape, or form? That's a stupid fucking argument. I'm sorry.
Especially the most dedicated ones. And again, if you're a casual, you don't give a shit about the ecosystem and your substats in the first place. And so, I guess to me, this would just like dramatically shift the playing field more into the favor of just, whaling for tuners, using the reroll on like the one bad subset you have, and then just rolling perfect echoes everywhere. Mm-hmm. If the system that he's talking about was implemented, it would make it extremely easy to get like god rolls, as long as you're shelling out that cash.
Okay. Keep that in mind. What he just said right there, I want you guys to remember that. Keep that in mind. Remember that. It's going to be important later on.
It's not all. For 20 times the amount, 200 tuners, I think they should allow you to specifically...
Okay, yeah, it gets even deeper and deeper. It's getting even deeper and deeper, actually. So everything I just said, amplify it by like 5,000, 6,000. If you're able to do this.
Choose the substat you want. But just like before with the substat reroll, they should not allow you
to
choose the amount of that substat that you get. So you could have 12.6%.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you've got 8 layers of 8 possible selections from there. So it's 1 in 8. But yeah.
crit damage or 21% crit damage, or anything in between. This allows for potential continuous improvement of echoes for those sweaty players that really want to min-max. These changes also play into the lore of what a tuner is. A tuner is something that you use to tune an instrument to the correct sound you want, after all. Using tuners in this way allows you to be able to craft echoes to
Robot in the fucking Wikipedia article. Holy... I'm sorry, this is an incredible video.
Was there a problem with bringing that up? I'm like, if they change it to way you can tune an echo to what you want, that doesn't go against the lore of what a tuner is. I'm like, okay, this is what a tuner is. Like, in reality, they're using this word here, and it's like tuning an echo because sound and shit. It's like, it makes sense. I'm like, this is how they can implement it and make it make sense in the world. You know? Like, that's why I didn't even go through it. I just showed it. It's like, it would make sense. Whatever.
This is an incredible video.
You to be able to craft echoes to have the exact stats that you want to build your characters and also to be as strong as you want for a price. As I said, 200 tuners for just one stat,
okay,
it's not an insignificant amount. And if you wanted
it's
to
a fucking shit ton.
one singular perfect echo, that could cost up to 1,000 tuners. And also, don't forget, you need 5 of these echoes for just one character. So a possible 5,000 tuners in total.
I also didn't mention it, but also some characters benefit from different sets. Like, say, for example, Jianshin, she could benefit from the Arrow set, or she could benefit from the Moonlit set. So she is one character that needs 5 echoes for one set, but could also benefit from another second, whether you want to build her, like, use her as a DPS or a support. So everything that I've just said, times it by 2. I mean, you know. But
okay, now some of you may be thinking that with all these echoes, all this experience, all those changes to tuners giving players any degree of control over their echo rolls, that would break the game and remove any of the incentive for players to continue playing. And
I want to see how he breaks down this part. I want to see how he breaks this down.
to those people,
this is where we can get into it.
I say, would it? Really? Would you quit? I don't think so. Having tuners be used this way also incentivizes...
I mentioned here, I've got right here, there's also the stuff that people do in this game, like the actual game part of the game, of like story, events, minigames, challenges, and also like there's more shit for people than just grinding tacit fields.
People to continue playing, to use wave plates on tacit fields to earn the echo experience and also to earn these tuners to guarantee these stats. But even then, there are many games out there that rely on players to repeatedly play dungeons and other domains in the
Well, I guess this is the thing. He's using the argument that having all of these mechanics in here would motivate people to keep grinding endlessly. But the methods that he's describing would inherently speed up the time that it takes to acquire perfect gear.
When the time it takes to acquire is saying perfect, I'm saying usable, feasible, just like quick damage, Bitterman. Right now it's set to infinity. I'm saying, well, compared to infinity, it's like drastically speeding it up. True, sure, but from infinity to roughly about 1 patch, 2 patch if I'm feeling a bit stringent. I think that's fair. You know, because by the time, like I said before, by the time you come to that end of the 1 patch, you've got 3 other characters you need to build. You know? Fucking hell. So.
And it would reduce the amount of time you spend grinding because you're done. If anything, the current state of the game that's entirely all of your gear rolls are dependent on RNG is that, if anything, the current tuner system is more like an MMORPG.
Yes, it is. He's 100% correct in that. He's absolutely... Guys, he's 100% correct in that. The current gear system in Wuthering Waves right now is pretty much exactly like an MMORPG. But you know what the difference is? Is that with an MMORPG, you're building 1 character. You're not building 3, just for 1 team. Or like 6 for the 2 teams for the Tower of Adversity, or more. You're not building multiple different fucking characters. If it's just the 1 character, yeah, keep it as is. Don't change a fucking thing. That makes sense. But we don't. We have multiple other different characters to build at the same time, with more coming out in the future, with other sets that will also come out in the future too. Like someone else mentioned as well, like we also have all these sets that we're building right now for these characters, but what about when a new set comes out? We also want to build, like, this new set, that's better for this character in the past.
So I want to build the new set for the new character, but I also want to build the new set for the old character too. Fuck. So now I need to build 2 sets. Shit. Fuck, what am I going to do? So then that does also still promote the grind, does it not? And like I said, my idea, like, again, we can like talk about numbers, like how they would do this. My idea would ideally would be that you can grind and get 1 usable set in about a patch. So if you want to build 2 sets, 1 for the new character, 1 for the old character, you would need about 2 patches worth. And in that time, you'd have, let me count, 5 new characters out. I'm sorry, but no. But as it stands, well, this, like it says here, this current system is more like MMOs. Yeah, but it's 1 character. That's the difference. But my point of showing this example here is that players do like to grind for perfect stats, for perfect gear. So even if they have usable gear, if they have nothing else to, nothing else to work on, then they will grind even more to get even better stats, right? I thought of something the other day. I want to like just put this out. It's like saying right now we've got this grind. We're like doing this infinite grind for usable shit. We should be grinding for perfection, not grinding for feasibility. That's the difference. People will grind for perfection. And Saint also agreed with that as well. People will grind for perfection. But right now we're not at that stage. Right now we're just grinding for feasibility, just to build them, just to get crit rate and crit damage on the stats. That's the issue. So even if they did get enough tuners to get crit rate, crit damage on all 5 echoes, they're probably going to still build more because they want to get that third stat, or that 4th stat, or that 5th stat. No?
The current system is more like an MMORPG, where everything is randomized on drop. You have to like spend resources and stuff, like identifying it, blah, blah, blah. And then you don't get a good piece. You're back in the Echo Mines.
On this part,
you're back
I
in the
agree.
passive field,
He's right.
farming more and more.
For
and
MMOs.
So this is almost like a counterexample to his point. And I think I see a chat by Fob. And
It's not a counterpoint. I've shown why, but okay.
guys,
He's bringing up Fob now, so we're going to get to Fob's thing. I've also spoken to Fob off stream as well. We had like a bit of a short, like 30-something minute call in VC yesterday, if I remember correct. No, not yesterday, the day before, on Monday. And at this point in time, he hadn't seen my entire video, so he was only watching the part that Saint had been up to. So he didn't know the entire thing. Since then, he's watched the entire video. We've had the conversation, and he's said that my system would definitely work. He just doubts that a gacha game developer would implement it because, in his words, all gacha game devs are snakes. And if it would affect their bottom line by any percent, like 1% or 2%, then they're not going to do that. I don't agree on that with this particular company. But that's why he disagrees. He still disagrees with the system because he just thinks it won't be implemented for that reason. But he says the system would work and it would be fine. Just so we're all clear. We've already had that conversation.
ladies and gentlemen, Bob is one of the biggest whales in the space. He's spent thousands of dollars on these games. He's openly admitted that he would have a house if he didn't spend so much on gacha games. And this is his take. Whales would quit. Gacha games use RNG to keep people playing. Making essentially have a pity would not keep people staying at all.
At this point in time, Fob had not seen the entirety of it. He hadn't seen how many tuners, the thing, so he didn't know. And he's since like, again, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but from our conversation, from my understanding of it, he said he's watched the entire video and he thinks the system would work. So he's changed his opinion, from my understanding, on this statement here.
And that's what the system would do, right? It would give you a pity for your gear, guarantee everything, and you would end up in a state where you don't have anywhere to progress your account anymore until the new character releases. And when gacha games are a model that thrive off of daily logins, that thrive off of somebody repeatedly engaging with the game on a schedule, which is what Tacit Fields do for every single endgame player that cares about gear, then if that system isn't there and you're basically done with the character, I mean, that's kind of like the way it goes, right?
Yes. If my system allowed for a character to be done within about a week or two, that needs to be tweaked. That needs to be nerfed. Guys, I'll say that it would need to be nerfed because, like I said, my ideal would be roughly one patch. I've said it many times now. I think that's 2 patches max. I think that's fair. But if they've done all the content, they've done all the story, they've done all the minigames, they've done all that, and they've built the character within the first week or so, and they've got nothing else to do, that would disincentivize people from coming back. I agree. But I don't think my system allows for that.
Right? Why would Whales quit if there's a new character released every 3 weeks, which is basically a schedule of you needing to finish a build in 3 weeks? So think about it this way, Acura.
So
Let's
he
just say
does that.
you're done with the character, you finish them. You have nothing else to grind for.
Notice he doesn't bring up the time. Like someone brought up, like right here, you guys can't see, 3 weeks. Say you're done with the character, you've got nothing else to do. Like, yeah, but like that's 3 weeks. If you've done with the character within 1 week and you've got nothing else to do for 2 weeks, you're correct. But what if it takes 3 weeks to build that character, and then you've got the other new character, and then it takes 3 weeks to build them? For a whale that builds all the characters, we get that, right? So like he's missing the 3 week schedule part, and he's like just assuming like, oh, instantly, done, guaranteed, instant, like just day one. No, that's not what I'm saying.
On the account, are you more likely to just log in and mindlessly farm materials for characters or something that you don't have yet? This is the thing. It's like the RNG.
Show of hands. Who grinds materials and echoes for characters that they do not have yet? Hi, Vinny. Who grinds echoes and materials for characters that they do not have yet? Yeah. Not I. I think some people do. I think most people do. I think the idea of like, well, what's the word? Pre-farming. I think that's a well-established thing in the gacha community, no? A lot of people do. Yeah. So let's just go back. Let's listen to this again.
You have nothing else to grind for on the account. Are you more likely to just log in and mindlessly farm materials for characters or something that you don't have yet?
Guys, here's the funny thing. This isn't in the video. This isn't in the video. This is the funny thing. This is the hilarious thing. After he's reacted to this, guess what he was doing for like 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours after he reacted to this video? Guess what he was doing? He was grinding echoes for Brant. He was grinding echoes. He was grinding materials for Brant, a character that he, if I remember correctly, does not have yet. Excuse me?
This is the thing. It's like the RNG system allows you to have goals for like every single character. It allows you to repeatedly go ahead and have.
And the reason why he's continuously trying to grind on that, because I think he'll address that and say, the reason why I was grinding so much is because the RNG, because I think he said that later on, and then my system would invalidate that. He was having issues getting a Dragon of Dirge echo with the main stat, and my system would not address that. You still have the RNG of having to get that main stat first of all. So he would still have had to do that amount of grind regardless. And like I said, he was playing it for like 2 or 3 hours, trying to get that one echo. And like I said, not many people have that time. So his 2 or 3 hours for one day is probably 3 days worth of grinding for other people, because I think most people just grind
an hour, play an hour, and then put it down and do something else with their life. So, you know,
have some sort of progression, no matter where you are in the game, something can always get better. And the idea...
Something can always get better. And I agree. And that's what would keep people coming back.
idea that you're only going to play when the new character releases, that's a little iffy. Because what if you don't like the new character that releases and you just don't pull them? You literally have no content for the patch. Like, you're forgetting that for this system to work, you would have to pull them. You don't gotta like them to collect those. So the crux of your argument is that people don't pull the characters they want just so that they have something to grind for. So people...
I don't actually understand what he's saying here. I think free-to-play players don't pull on characters that they don't like, which is true. But his argument about the ones that need to come back every day to keep those, because otherwise EOS, is the whales, and this is pure speculation on my point, but I was under the impression that whales buy every character, they buy every weapon, and they max out every character as well, regardless of whether they like them or not. I might be mistaken on that, but that's what I understand to be the case. So if I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong on that, but that's what I understand to be true.
People are going to pull characters they actually don't want to pull, because if they don't pull, they don't have anything to do in the game. Does that sound like an actual, like, sound argument? That doesn't sound like it makes sense at all. If you're a whale, you're going to spend money.
Because what he said is not what the person said, and it's not what I'm saying. So that's why it doesn't make sense. That is a straw man.
Guys,
and we had a conversation about me using the word straw man. This is literally the definition of a straw man, of like setting up an argument that no one made just so you can take it down. That's the issue. Yeah.
Like, you seem to be under the impression that, like, whales are, like, well, some of them are mentally ill, but, like, you seem to be going into the direction of, like, whales are just stupid, where they're going to pull characters they don't want. They're just going to S6 characters they don't give a shit about because they're just looking to burn money wherever they can.
Collector.
That is one of the most...
Yes. That's what whales do. Because they're looking for a place to burn their money, and they just collect it. But...
like dented takes I think I've ever seen.
But that's what happens.
Making it so that the only content people are able to do is if they pull the new character doesn't make sense. Because if they just don't like the character, they don't have anything to do.
It doesn't make sense, but people do things that don't make sense. Collectors, for example, they will pull the character and S6 R5 them, even if they don't like them, because they're the collector. They cannot have their collection not be complete. It's not possible for them. They will do that. That's literally what they do that for.
They don't have anything to do if they don't like the character.
The answer is more in-game, bro.
Going in with the assumption that, like, they'll just pull everybody, even if they don't like them.
They will.
Which is just off. So we got the response from Fob. Like, bro, if there was a pity to Echo Stats, people, especially whales, would have 1,000 million tuners. A character every 3 weeks would not make a dent in that.
Okay, so this is where it shows that Fob had not watched the entirety of the video. Because it's not possible for even the heaviest of whales to get that many tuners. And there's nothing that I put in there which would allow that either. The same amount of tuners that are in the game right now would still remain the same. And there's a limit on how many tuners you could buy for whales, so they would not be able to get that amount of number of tuners, like, at all. And like I said, I've spoken to Fob, and he's like, yeah, fair. So
yeah, they're gonna log in, the new character drops, they go perfect their echoes, and then they stop playing. So to sum all of that up, it's a matter of when you're able to have a soft pity
I don't
on
think
the
they stop playing, just
you're going to
personally.
build up a fuck ton of these materials. You're going to eventually reach the finish line. And once you reach the finish line in a game, guys, once you're done with all the content, once the only thing you have left to do is like showcases of how much faster you can clear things, and there's no more progression anymore. That's when people start putting down the game.
True.
When there's no more opportunities for them to progress with the way that they're doing things, think about Grand Blue Relink. the game where once you get all the legendary weapons, you unlock every single stat boost, you perfect all of your bonuses. There's really no more reason to play it anymore because you've accomplished everything in the game. And so you log in maybe once in a while, once a week or once a month to go have a little bit of fun, but you're just like, well, there's nothing left for me to do here. And so I don't see a reason to log in anymore. And
I agree. I 100% agree. But the problem is, this is a live service game. There's always going to be a new character. There's always going to be new events. There's always going to be new end game. There's always going to be new mini games. There's always going to be new shit to do. It will never reach that state. Grand Blue, really, that's a different conversation. That makes no sense. And I did bring that up to Fob as well. And he was like, sometimes there are dead patches. Like, that's fair, but when there are dead patches, they usually do reruns, and the reruns are for free-to-play players because the whales have already done that. So that's when they don't make as much money, which is fair. But my counter argument to that is, this is going to sound really fucking harsh. To the devs, get good, bro. Don't put out dead patches. Consistent, give us something that's consistent each time. No one wants dead patches. If the reason why dead patches exist, generally speaking, in my opinion, is laziness. But for the most part, I do think that Kuro has been doing very well with their patches. Even this current one, this 2.1. I know a lot of people have had issues with it. I do not consider it a filler patch. I do not consider it a dead patch. It's perfectly good. It's perfectly fine. It's more than enough content in there for everyone to do. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. 2.0 was a great addition. 2.1 will not hit that, but I wasn't expecting it to. I think it's fine. Maybe not laziness. Maybe not laziness. Maybe not laziness, to be fair. There could be like other mitigating instances, for sure. But, but for the most part, it is just a case of like, don't allow yourself to get into the state of like where you would put out a dead patch. The thing is, though, as well, guys, that Kuro Games has another game to pull from, Punching Grey Raven. So they always have a library of other characters that they can just pull from there, reskin them, and put them in game. So they will never have a dead patch where they won't have new characters. They'll never have that. So, like to address Fob's issue there, like what happens with dead patches, I don't think we'll have that issue. Because by then, they'll already have all these other characters they can just pull from. Personally.
And that is one of the number one things that game devs, gacha devs,
Han Ying for sure.
They don't want.
I want Lamia. I want Lamia, I want Han Ying, and I want Alpha Crimson Weave. Just give me those three, please. Please.
Players just to come in every 3 weeks and then play the game for a short spurt and then not play it again for another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for the biggest spenders, that's what a system like this, that guaranteed gear, would do. It would create that sort of grinding mechanic where, again, you finish the build in 3 weeks, you grind materials, and you don't play again until the next 3 weeks.
But, wait, what? Did you guys just, Vonnegut, but also I want Vonnegut. Did you guys not hear that did he just completely forget that there are two new characters per patch on average? It's very rare that we don't have that. So 3 weeks and then you don't play again for another 3 weeks. I'm like, well, after that 3 weeks, you already have another character to do the same 3 weeks for.
And unfortunately, for the biggest spenders,
that's
what a system like this, that guaranteed gear, would do. It would create that sort of grinding mechanic where, again, you finish the build in 3 weeks, you grind materials, and you don't play again until the next 3 weeks because you're done. Everything's.
I mean, why? After that 3 weeks, there's another character, so you have to do the same thing, and then you're building for the next character, and then you do the same thing, and then it's like, did you forget there are 2 characters per patch? What about TOA and other challenges? Yeah. I mean, what? 1 character and 1 rerun per half, usually. This time it was just new character first half, new character rerun on the second half. But still, you have 2 new characters per patch, per half, should I say.
done. There's nothing left to progress anymore. There's really no more additional enjoyment or additional progression you're getting out of the time you're spending. And guys, I would take it from the whale himself. I would rather listen, right, to somebody who's actually a whale, to somebody who's actually spent thousands of dollars. We've got two of them here, right? I'd rather listen to these guys on what keeps whales playing the game than anybody else, right? And that's
He's deferring to authority because at the end of the day, he doesn't know. And he has no information to back up his claims. And also just like pulling two people. Fob we know is a whale. This other Wakatsuki Yumi, we can assume they're a whale, sure. I think they're a mod, so I think he knows that they're a whale, something like that. I got lectured by some person online who plays the game free to play on how to spend my money. I'm never gonna tell. Like, even that they don't. It doesn't seem like they disagree either. It's just like they don't like being told like how to spend their money. Like spend your money all you want, however you want. It's your money. But I don't know.
probably what these companies do too. These companies probably write to whales, they petition them, they give them surveys, and they find out what the whales want in the game and what keeps the whales playing. And
guys, in all the surveys, from what I understand, there are no separate surveys for whales, right? There are no separate surveys for whales, from what I understand. Are there? I don't want to say what I don't know, but from what I understand, there's no separates. No, yes, no. There is for Genshin, actually. Oh, really? I actually didn't know that. Listen to free play? Nope. You're a whale and you agree with me? So he's got one whale on his side, I've got one whale on my side. Actually, no. Fololo, you're a whale too. Which side are you on? Choose the right side or you're getting kicked. I swear to fucking God, Fololo. I swear to fuck. No, honestly. I'm kidding. But no, I don't think there's a different thing. Saint is right though, not gonna lie. Oh, no, his assumption seems true, but we have no guarantee on that. We have no confirmation. He's arguing just for the sake of it, and we're being chilling. What? I'm a whale. Do I get to choose? Sure, why not? I mean, I'd love to hear, but I don't think it really matters at the end. His assumption is based on a super small sampling size? For sure, absolutely. Whales get special treatment in some cases like Sensei, like Rexon? Well, yeah, but what you think they're going to take one person or what, just a small sample to do that? I mean, studies require having hundreds of people, and I don't think they're just going to like base their entire thing off what one person says. Mixing whales and collectors. I want to continue this video unless I'm not getting anything.
they probably listen to the whales, they listen to their biggest spenders, and they work off of that. And that's the thing, guys. When Glazer Acura, I don't think you are a whale. I don't think Ryuko's a whale either. And when the argument that we're talking about, right, and the reasoning we're talking about is what keeps whales playing the game, I don't think you guys are in a position of expertise or even experience to be able to comment on the matter. So that'll be...
Right. So, putting the whale conversation aside, he's made the same logical leap of like what keeps a whale playing and what keeps a whale spending money is because of the artifact grinding. I don't believe that to be true. He's assuming it to be true. He's assuming that there are some studies out there that prove his thing correct, and his evidence for that would be like, well, if it wasn't the case, then why would they not have changed it? And my argument for that is like, well, they did change it. Like Genshin introduced the artifact transmuter, which allows that to create an artifact with a main stat and two substats, guaranteed. HSR has the same thing, where they allow you to mold and then also change the subsets as well. Honkai Impact 3 doesn't have that system because they just don't. ZZZ also allows you to. Well, no, it's a bit different. They allow you to change the main stat, but the substats are different. But they have a smaller pool of substats. They are literally introducing these kinds of substat changer things into the game to mitigate that, because they have done the studies and they do know, they are seeing that it is an issue. And from what he's saying right now, it sounds like he's just against it entirely. I've since talked to him, and he said that he's not against the idea of a subset reroller or a subset selector in its entirety. He just disagrees that it should be tied to tuners. But that's where the difference is.
Be my final take on the whale discussion. Editor, good luck with that one.
Play dungeons and other domains in the hopes of getting decent equipment for just one character. There are also games which allow you to max out multiple characters too. I mean, I've personally spent hundreds of hours leveling each character, each of the heroes on Dynasty Warriors, for example. And we already have 29 characters in the game right now, with many more to come in the future. With the systems I've laid out, there are still significant but reasonable levels of RNG with understandable mechanisms to give players something to work towards if they continue to play the game.
So I guess this is the thing. Going back into that whole MMORPG example, he talks about how there's incentives to infinitely grind in raids or dungeons for gear. And, well, that's kind of what people are doing with tacit fields in the current state of the game. There
difference is one character versus multiple, just so we're all clear.
Infinitely grinding tacit fields for the opportunity to get better echoes or min-maxed echoes, all in the pursuit of like that perfect piece, the perfect 5 pieces for every character. So I guess that kind of dynamic is already in the game, and I guess the suggestions that we're seeing here, it would be kind of like a promotion against that mechanic
if they continue to play the game. These
because it's not MMO.
Enough incentive to continue playing without the absolute futility of pure RNG, which I remind you can and does lead to player burnout, because it's happened in this game and also many other games that have these systems.
Isn't that the same exact issue that can exist in an MMORPG, where you run the same raid or dungeon like 30 times and you just don't get the gear? And so you're just like, I quit. But we use the MMORPG example as like a positive thing when it's, I mean, the 0.81% drop rates, right? Unlike the
0.81%, that's higher than the current rate for getting perfect, well, just anything. But like, again, MMO, one character. Once you've done it, you've done it. This one, multiple characters. What is that face, by the way? Just so why did he stop there? Just personally, whatever. But like, no, there's a difference. The reason why I brought up the MMOs is because the point of that was to show that people do like grinding, and giving the incentive to have people continue to grind, having that light at the end of the tunnel, having the carrot on the stick in front of them, is what keeps people grinding. But the current system, there's nothing, like, at all. And even in a lot of those MMORPGs as well, and a lot of MMOs, there are a lot of systems where they allow you to implement, like, say, jewels or something, or gems or whatever, into the armor. So you get the armor with some decent stats, and you got like some selector like extra things you can put on there as well. That way, it's literally, you can get an RNG on there, but that way you can RNG for that, and then get something you can literally select to implement into the armor or the weapon or whatever. So there are still selector systems in the MMOs as well. I'm famous? Who's famous? Why am I famous?
The super legendary piece of gear.
Also, many other games that have these systems. I've already seen multiple people say that they're going to drop Wuthering Waves because of the RNG. So like I said, with the tuners, it should be 10 to tune, 50 to reroll the substat, and also 200 to choose the substat. But these numbers,
I've already called him.
I don't
We've
know
already had like 2.5 hour conversation.
As an example. So they could be higher, they could be lower, perhaps maybe 300 tuners for the substat selector. But even still, I don't think we should be afraid to implement systems like this just in the off chance that they might be too overpowered. That's the point of patches, to find the perfect balance. But if Kuro implements these changes that I've laid out for both the echoes and also the tuner systems, I think that could revolutionize the Artifact, Relic, Echo, whatever systems that they have in this game.
Okay.
So the way that I view it is Wuthering Waves is currently the game where you grind gear the fastest. You'll have a usable honestly, like pretty decent double crit set. Probably like the fastest out of any big gacha game on the market currently. And these suggested...
He doesn't mention any sort of time frame like for that like, at all. He says you'll get one eventually. Sure. I mean, like if you have like a million monkeys at a typewriter, one of them will eventually write out Shakespeare, as the saying goes. Eventually, sure. But again, that's just for one character. And then by the time you've done that, you've got like 7 more you need to build in that time. That's the problem. The grind loop is not sustainable. Not with right now. It's literally too. What's the word I want to use? Futile. I've used it before. Futile. It's just literally futile. There's an element of futility. There's no light at the end of the tunnel at all. There's a hope of a light around the corner at the end of the tunnel, maybe, if we're lucky. Nothing at all. And in this as well, I said I've since spoken to him in VC for 2.5 hours to get a more pinpoint. When I was watching this, and you guys might have also thought this as well. It sounded to me, in fact, no. Wait until I ask the question. Then one for yes, 2 for no. Right. When you guys saw this react, did you think that he was against the ability to reroll and choose a substat as a function at all? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Or did you think he meant something different? Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't just me then. It wasn't just me. Right. There's the thing. Because when I was watching this as well, Taka 2, of course, Taka 2. There's the thing. When I was watching this the first time around, I thought the same thing. I thought that he was against the idea of having crit rollers, stat rollers, stat re-rollers, and stat choosers like as a function at all. I've since spoken to him, like I said, and it seems that's not what he believes. He feels that, well, using his words, like he was very explicit and very obvious that what he meant was that this kind of system should not be tied to tuners. I did not get the impression. It sounded to me like he was just against the stat selector as a thing. He says that it was mainly because it was tied to tuners. And with the amount of tuners that are in the game right now, he feels that's too many tuners and it makes it way too easy. That's what he said. Tetone remove tuners, yeah. Whether that changes your opinion on whether you agree with Saint Tontus or not, I don't know. I still do not. I think the amount of tuners we get per patch is enough for free-to-play players to guarantee some decent substats, but not perfect substats. I can't stress that enough. It will no guarantee on perfect, but at least some subsets that they want. And then the whales can buy more tuners. Like I think it equates to like another 1,200 in the shop plus 250 in the battle pass, 1,450. Cool for the whales. So they have 1,450 more tuners than everyone else per patch, which means that they can do that for one other set. So they can build 2 characters per patch, which makes sense because they would probably buy 2 characters, the first half and the second half, whereas free-to-play players would probably just buy 1. So that makes sense. I mean, there it would be fair, would it not? And it would still promote replayability and grindability, and whales also spending that money. Personally, that's what I think.
The changes would, in essence, right, reduce that gear grind even more and more to the point where it's extremely fast, right, extremely reliable to get a great set of gear. And when that grind isn't there in a game where every other progression system is capped, you will literally run out of things to do.
yes. To reiterate, you will if there are no new characters. But with the systems laid out, that there should be patches to find the balance of where people can still have the grind and do the grind with roughly, well, it should take a patch. Like I said, I'm saying this so many times. It shouldn't be too short. If they can build the character within a week of doing this, completely agree. I need to stress that so hard because some people just do not understand that. I'm not talking about Saint. I think he understands that. He just disagrees. But there are some people in chat that don't understand that.
You will run out of things to spend wave plates
Live
on and feel like you're
service
getting something
game.
out of it. And I do think that at the end of the day, it's something that would inherently just negatively affect playtime. It would just end up, instead of burnout from the gear grind, it would be burnout from the fact that you're just grinding for stuff with no purpose, with nothing to actually do or spend it on. Like, what do you do when your character in Elden Ring is at the max level and you...
Okay, so he's jumped from one thing to another thing, which is not live service. So Elden Ring. Yeah, it's Elden Ring. Single character. It's a single character. You can't make that comparison. Not for this game. It's a stupid comparison. It's a very, very stupid fucking comparison. I'm sorry. And then, yeah, whatever.
You've upgraded every weapon in the game to the max level. Do you just walk around killing stuff for fun and then just farming? You'll maybe play PvP, but that's something that gacha games don't have.
Right.
And they don't have it for a good reason. And
we will have PvP. Guys, who's looking forward to the PvP obstacle course thing that's coming out soon? Who's looking forward to that? Like, it's not combat PvP. It's gonna be like chase, racing against each other. I think that's gonna be really fucking fun. I'll be honest. That's gonna be really fun. Nah, I'm good. Fair enough. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. That's PvP. It's player versus player. From what I understand, you like match and like you have to race to the end. Who gets there first wins. I think it's gonna be fun, Mo. Yeah, the flying races. Nah, that's fair. Look, I'm not saying it's for everyone at all. But that will be a case of PvP, you know? You're going to beat your friend? In game, I hope. Not in real life. I am speed.
so you do New Game Plus, you stop playing, you take a break from it, you wait until the expansion comes out, and that's not really what a gacha game wants to do. They don't want you to have any incentive to stop playing because you feel like you're done with the game.
Guys, this is like, we're saying the same thing again. Like, yeah, they'll never have that. They'll never have that because it's a live service game. And they're constantly bringing up new characters. And they're constantly bringing out new events, new minigames, new endgame, hopefully, too. They just recently brought out with Whimpering Wastes. Stupid fucking name. Just so we're all clear. Did you guys know what the Japanese name for Whimpering Waste is? It's Oceanic Ruins Death Knell. I'm not even fucking kidding. Apparently, it's very similar in the Korean as well. So, like, you got these really cool names, like, Oceanic Ruins Death Knell. Whimpering Wastes. Fuck off. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Yeah. What a waste? You mean a whimpering waste? Is that what you mean to say, Zella? Mm-hmm. WeWit is funnier. True, it is funnier. It is funnier. But, you know.
Because when you feel like you're done with a game and you beat it, you kind of stop playing it, right? And what the gear grind does is it makes you feel like you're never actually done with the game. That you can always do something or improve something and make it better. And that's the goal. You'll always...
It is the goal to always have something to do. But I don't think that should be... I don't think Tacit Fields should be the thing that you always have to do all the time. It should be something you do, but it's not something you should always have to do for the same character. You do it for another character. You do that, you spend the time in, you build one character. But there's got to be a limit to how long it takes to get there.
always have a character that needs a little bit of extra love.
There's
You
always
have a
something new.
character that needs a little bit of extra work. And I guess putting that pity on the gear, there's a reason why almost no game has like super accessible pity on all the gear.
You know what game has accessible pity on their gear? Guys? Punishing Grey Raven. Which company does Punishing Grey Raven? Okay, let me think. I think it's a small company that Saint might not know. I think it's called what's the name of that company? Guys, what's the name of the company? I forgot the name. What's the name? Kuro! That's the name of the company! Yeah, wait, what's the name of the company that does Wuthering Waves? What's the Wuthering Waves? What's the name of the company that does Wuthering Waves? Is that Kuro 2? Holy fucking shit. So imagine that. There are other games that have guaranteed pity on their gearing system. Kuro game, PGI did not exist before Wuthering Waves. Fucking, I mean, dude, like this is when he makes statements like this, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And when he says this, like, there's no other game that does this. I'm like, he's very, very specific. Well, he says no other game, but he says no other game among the big four, and that's what he means apparently. But like when he makes that statement and he doesn't make that clarification, it sounds stupid. And I've already said that to him. He's like, well, and he's like, what was it? Basically, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I want to paraphrase. I can't remember what he said exactly. If Saint's watching this, and I do apologize for paraphrasing it, I do not mean to do this. I also recorded the entire conversation with consent, by the way, with consent. So yeah, of me and Saint for the 2.5 hours with consent. I also have consent to do this react to, just so we're all clear. It was a case of like, I said, when you say something like that, when you say no other game or best in all gacha, that you sound like an idiot because you're speaking from a very, very select few of two different developers. One does three, Genshin, HSR, and ZZZ, and then there's Wuthering Waves, which is very heavily inspired by Genshin Impact. Let's not beat around the bush. We all know that to be true. We get that. But like, when you're referring to that, of like the one thing that does it badly, and the one that copied that bad system, and you're completely ignoring or just ignorant of all the other gacha games, which make a shit ton of money, by the way. A lot of money, because I actually said that as well. Like, there's all these games which make bank, absolute bank, and they don't have that system. And he's like, oh, which games? I was like, Fate Grand Order, for example. And then this is what he said. What about in global, though? I'm like, yeah, it's a global game, but that's not what you said. You said that which game makes the most money? Which games make the most money that don't have that system? I was like, there's several that make a lot of money, like a shit ton of money that don't have that system. Yeah, but what about global? Okay, you're moving the goalposts. That wasn't the conversation. It's like, how much money do these games make with these particular systems? What you just said is not what you're arguing now. You literally moved the goalpost. Guys, there are so many games out in Japan that you guys do not know that make a shit ton of money. There's search for like Token Dambu. Token Dambu, all male character game, by the way. Massive fan base, almost as big as FGO, and not even fucking kidding. And they make so much money. Also, Fate Grand Order as well. Yeah, they make so much money as well. But he doesn't know about that, because why would he? And that's fine. But that's my point. He's speaking from a place of ignorance. I'm not saying he is ignorant, like he's an ignorant person. It's like he just doesn't know. And he's making all these grand claims like best in gacha or no other gacha game and this, and I'm like, no. If these gacha games can make all this money and not have that system, then it's clear that it's not this system that is what's making them the money, is it? Again, it's about controls. I was a control for the Echo Experience thing. It's just luck. And then you've also got this here. This makes a lot of money. That makes a lot of money. Equivalent amount of money. This has a system. This doesn't have the system. So clearly, it's not the system that made the fucking money, is it? Jesus Christ.
because the researchers, right, the experts, they know what that does to playtime. They know what that does to engagement. They know what that does to retention. And think about it this way. The more people that are being retained, the more people that are playing every single day for this game, theoretically, the game should only get better from that. That'll lead to more players spending. That'll lead to Kuro having a bigger budget, and that allows them to add more, bigger, and greater things to the game. And if you're
Okay, so I told you to like remember that thing from a while back. You guys might have forgotten, but basically about the tuners thing, he said that that would give an unfair advantage to the whales because the whales would spend a lot more money to get more tuners to get the guarantee, and then blah 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 blah. And so that's where they would spend money. And then here is saying that they need it for retention to keep people to keep spending money. I'm like, okay, they're making more money because the whales are spending more money to get the tuners because they've also got a guarantee. But then also, if they do implement this system, they can keep all the other players. Like I said, survivorship bias, where you are losing so many players because so many players cannot. They love the game. They love the. Like I personally know several people that love Wuthering Waves, but they just cannot be bothered to deal with the fucking RNG system anymore. So, and that's just people I know. And I've seen like hundreds of other comments by other people that have also that said they've dropped Wuthering Waves because the RNG is too fucking much. So they're losing all these other players because of the RNG. But don't worry, you're keeping these, you're retaining these ones. Again, survivorship bias. You're looking at the ones that are staying, but you do not notice all the people that are left. You could keep all these people as well and make it balanced so you can still keep these ones as well. There is a balance between the two. It's not either or. It is possible to have both. It is literally possible to have both. And I think my system would allow for that. And if they can allow that, and if they can open that system up, the RNG, just make it not infinite, and get all these people back. And that way, you get more people, and they're retaining because they're staying for the story and shit, yeah? And they've got a light at the end of the tunnel, then they're more likely to spend money, aren't they? On the character and the weapon banners. No? And if anything, more people that would otherwise never do this are likely to spend Astrite to refill their energy because they know if I refill that energy, I can get some more tuners. And if I get enough tuners, I can get a guaranteed substat. I guarantee you right now, well, almost guarantee. Very generalization. Big generalization. No free-to-play players spend Astrite replenishing their energy. None. Never. I don't think it ever fucking happens. Maybe 1 in a million, if you're lucky. But if you can guarantee that, I think it would at least open it up to some people possibly thinking about that. No? Do you not think so? Wait, what? Who's in? Did someone jump in chat? But someone just shouted Tectone. I thought maybe Tectone jumped in the chat for a second there. I was kind of freaking out. But yeah. But I'm just going to continue. We're almost at the end. So we're going to continue with this.
If you're in the support of a change that would inherently, again, based off the research and based off the analytics, would reduce playtime,
I'm a low spender. I don't do that.
Playing in the long run, that would actively, in my eyes, lead to lower scope updates and potentially, making the game actively worse. That is like that big corpa. That's like the analytical, data-driven point of view.
And that's a massive fucking assumption that he has no evidence for. It's just like, that'll probably happen. Like, how the fuck would you know? All these other games that don't have that system and are more friendly with their players, they're still going on for like years and making a lot of money. It's just the proof is in the pudding.
The less people playing the game on a regular basis, the less people spending, the lower budget the game has, the closer it is to EOSing, all because you wanted to grind gear faster. When you know that the gear grind is one of the main reasons why people play the game.
Why the gear grind is one of the main reasons why people play the game. Again, guys, in fact, I would like to be proven wrong, or I would like to find out here. Can I do a poll? How do I do a poll? I'm so fucking boomer, I do not know how to do a poll. do I have a mod in chat right now? Can we do a poll on like why do people stay for the game? Start a poll. I could do a poll on do you stay playing for the echo grind? So, and when I'm going to ask this question, the question is, do you stay playing this game for the echo grind? Is that the reason? I can only do two. I can only do yes and no. Oh, wait, no, I can option. Wait, option. Wait, I can change it. Story. Wait, I'm going to change it. Characters. Echo grind. Okay. Why do you stay playing? Why do you continue playing Wua? Okay, I can do this on YouTube. I don't know how to do it on Twitch. Fuck. So on Twitch, I'm going to have to do like 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put. Okay. So the poll on YouTube is, why do you continue playing Wuthering Waves? Story, characters, or echo grind? And the same thing for Twitch. Story, you stay with Wuthering Waves for story 1, characters 2, echo grind 3. Should be poll. I don't know how to do it. I'm too fucking boomer. All three. That's fair, but you know. Okay. Upper Viridian Gamer, first message 3. Akamemni, that's 3 also. Okay, first message. That's fair. I want to get a good gooning too. I see that. I want to get as much. I want to know, like legitimately, I want to know. I would love to know. All three is fair. I probably should put all 3 to be honest, but you know. The current leading on the poll for YouTube right now is 65% for characters right now. Can I repeat the answers? 1 for story, 2 for characters, 3 for echo grind. Like, that's why you continue playing Wuthering Waves. That's why you continue. 2, 3, 1, 2. Arleig's got 3 in there. Fair. Yep. That's a grinding full. Yep. All the options. I can understand all 3. But it's like out of the 3. 3, then 2, then 1. Okay, right. Echo grind is better. Yeah, if you say so. I'm so interested. I'm like legitimately interested. I'm actually really interested in this. I'll be honest. I'm seeing on the whole. I'm either seeing on Twitch side. I'm seeing combat. Fuck, Leonie, you are correct. But fuck, that's true. That is true. Damn it. When you have to gear to grind, that this takes priority over everything else. It doesn't mean there's nothing else to take place. But I'm saying that's why you come back to this game. 4 for combat. True. Yeah. Shit, I should have added that. I'm an idiot. 4 for combat. Yeah. I get that. But in that case, it's like that goes to like exploration and challenges and shit. Yeah. That goes to exploration and combat. Shelby, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was me. I'm such an idiot. But out of the 3 options I suggested, it seems from my view that characters are the reason why people come back. I've got Eugene there with story, then characters and echo grind in that order, and then a lot of people saying combat. That's fair. But I think we can all agree. Though. To ignore you. Sorry, I couldn't read that. To ignore you. Got 3. Okay. There are some people that do come back. That's the reason why they continue playing for the echo grind. That's fair. I'm not saying they don't exist, but I think for the most part, that's not why most people come back. I think most people come back for the characters, then the story. Well, no order. Character, story, combat. These are the 3 main things that Wuthering Waves has going for it. Tacit fields are just like something else you have to do to play into the combat. You know? So, okay, we're got like 1 minute left.
Okay. So this is kind of like the gamer versus like the gamer perspective. Lowercase g versus capital G. And when you want a game to succeed, sometimes you got to make some sacrifices. And having the RNG gear system, in my eyes, is kind of one of the main things that keeps a well-invested player coming back. And
so this is where I thought, or I was under the assumption that he was just against the substat reroller and selector in general, because like the RNG system is
kind of sometimes you got to make some sacrifices. And having the RNG gear system, in my eyes, is kind of one of the main things that keeps a well-invested player coming back. And the well-invested players are typically the ones, right? Like good old Fobbit over here. They're the ones spending the most on the game.
So he makes no reference to tuners at all. In my conversation with him earlier today, he said, no. It was mainly the tuners. Like, I don't think it should be tied to tuners. Like, that's not what you said. He's like, oh, I thought it was like quite clear. I thought it was quite obvious. No, it wasn't obvious. Especially when you like, that's your clarifying statement. Like after, like throughout everything, he mentions like whales, but he mentions whales in the context of retaining players and why those whales keep coming back. And it's like that would make it a lot easier for the whale players. Like, so that kind of references tuners. But like here it's like, no, just like the RNG is why people come back. Is this clip also out of context?
Because they're seeking perfection constantly. So with that, let me know what you all think. I think that this is an interesting take, but I do think it's a bit of a short-sighted solution that has a lot of unintended negative consequences that I don't think are ever thought about that much in the discussion. Because this is beyond just a game, right? This is a business. This is like a corporation. And you got to give and take when it comes to stuff like this.
I agree. And like I said, in my estimation, in my opinion, the system that I laid out does allow for that give to the company. I'm not just asking for everything. It seems from what he's saying here, it seems like he thought I was asking for like them to give us everything off the bat, straight up. Like when he was going about oh, we want more asteroids, so give us more asteroids. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, give us a light at the end of the tunnel. Give us the carrot on the stick, because right now we're just following a stick with no carrot at the end of it. There's no guarantee on that. There's a promise of a carrot once we get back. Perhaps, maybe. But you know, if you played, what's it, Portal? Who's played Portal? Who knows about the cake? The cake is a lie. Just like the carrot. RNG is a fucking lie. Basically. It's a scam. So that's where, like with this clarifying statement like, at the end, like that's why it needs to have the RNG. RNG in general, yes. Unmitigated RNG, no. No. That's the issue. That's the problem. And then I'll let you. Okay, this is going to go into conversations that was not in this React, but this is like just me and my conversation with Saint. Like, okay, what would be your solution? Guys, do you know? Because he did actually get to a point where he's like, yeah, I think a substat selector should be in the game eventually. Sure. I was like, cool, we're getting somewhere. Cool. We're getting somewhere. Okay, guys. Guess how many substats he thinks a free-to-play player should be able to select per patch. How many substats do you think Saint thinks a free-to-play player should be able to change per patch? I'm seeing 6, 5, 1, 2, 0, 1, 5 there, 15, 5, 50, 2, 3. Right. Answer. He said max. I say a lot of ones and twos there. Max 2. If that. He was leaning on 1. He was saying he actually said 1 for free-to-play players, 2 for dolphins, 3 or 4 substats, not echoes, not perfect substats, singular. 4 for whales per patch. That's what he thinks is fair. That's what he thinks is enough. 1 substat out of 25 in the current system, per patch. 1 every day is good enough? For 1 piece only. Yeah, just 1 piece, 1 substat. I don't mean like 1 piece, 1 substat, another piece, 1 substat. No. Entirely. Just 1 substat out of all the echoes you have in your inventory, 1 substat per patch. Guys, that's literally worse than Genshin. Guys, that's literally worse than Genshin. With the artifact transmuter system that they have, that's literally worse than Genshin. I'm not even kidding. One a week. Okay, right, 1 a week. So Barry, Eric. Okay, I like where you're going. I was trying to meet him halfway. I was trying to meet him as far to his side as I possibly could. And I had this idea when he said that. I was like, you know, with the new game mode, the new weekly game mode, I've already given it away. The 1,000 gateways. What if in that game mode they gave you another item which allowed you to change 1 substat? So in total, that's 4 substats per month. That would give more reason for people to play that mode, because right now it's like 150, 160 Astrite per week, which is fair, fine, whatever. But I'll be honest. If I don't even care. They could do this. They could remove the Astrite and give us that 1 substat selector per week. Who would make that trade-off? It would hurt. I would hate it, but I would make that trade-off. Ideally, Astrite and the 1 subset selector, but personally, I would make that trade-off. I would. Thank you. Yep. There we go. So, like, don't do it. I will keep the Astrite for the logo, please do. But again, give or take. Give, take. Okay, give, take. I'm giving back the Astrite. I want that 1 subset selector per week. Both would be better. Very true. Exactly. Imagine if they did that, though. Imagine if they did that. Because, like, dude, 1 month? Guaranteed 1 echo? Perfect stats. In the current system. Not even with, like, my system, like, oh, you can see all the substats. No. Just, like, current system right now. If they allowed that, dude. As a free-to-play player, no, I get it. Photon Ray, I completely get it. Like, ideally, I would like to keep the Astrite and get this selector as well, but I get it. I do. But, like, again, give and take, you know? Why not both? I agree. Why not both? They could do it, and they should do it. Personally, I think they should do both. But, like, if we do have to give something up, that's fair. Guys, that's fair. Reward from Tower of Adversity with Whimpering Wastes with current resets. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I actually don't know. I haven't really played Whimpering Wastes, so maybe. But yeah. Astrite and a Selector? Mm-hmm. Both is better, for sure. Both is always better. Like, as players, of course we would say both is better. But like I said, I've been trying to meet him as close to his position as possible. But his position is literally 1 substat per patch for free plays. 2 for dolphins, 3 or 4 for whales. No, 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 no. That's literally worse than Genshin. What about selective for Astrites? Okay, so you can select either Astrites or the subset selector? Interesting. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I mean, if we have to choose, they could do it that way. Options are always good. You're assuming that you never get good stats without it. No, that's not what I'm saying. Taka. Bro. Dude. No. It's a countermeasure. It's a mitigating factor in the case that you never get good stats, which is more often than not very fucking common. Guys, how often has it come to you where you've got an echo, right? You get crit rate. First substat, crit rate. Fuck, let's go. Oh! Second stat, energy regen. Oh, that's all right. That's good. Okay. Third substat, attack percent. Okay. Wait, I need a crit damage. Okay, well, let's go. Fourth substat, defense. Shit. But these three stats are really fucking good. These three, like a crit rate, attack percent, energy regen. These are really good. I need these. For the love of God, please let it be a crit damage on the last one. You roll it, HP. Fuck. However, if that happens, you get a one singular subset selector. You change that HP to crit damage, we're buzzing. That's just one. That happens a week. And then you have to do it every week. That could, if you grind out that 3 stats out of 5, which is already hard to do as it is, 3 stats out of 5, which is already hard enough to do. Oh, this is another thing he said. He said it's quite common to get 4 out of 5 stats. Guys, how often do you get 4 out of 5 stats? Like 4 highlighted stats out of 5. How often do you get that? How often do you get that? I think I've got like 2 or 3. No, that's what he said. He did. I swear to God, dude. I have the recording. He said it's very common to get 4 highlighted stats out of 5. That's what he said. I can pull it. I'm not going to pull it up because I'm not going to leak the conversation. I've already promised that I'm not going to. But I do have that. And if he says I'm lying, then I don't know what I'm going to do. But I have the evidence that he did say that. No, Crow. I'm not fucking, no. You know what? Guys, you know that's not what I'm like. Nah. No. No, I'm not. Not happening. I've already promised. Shut the fuck up. Do not call me a liar. 3 is common. Yes. 2 is somewhat. Like, 3 is occasionally. 2 is common. 3 is occasionally. 4 is fucking rare. 5 is like unicorn levels of rare. So, like, that's his perspective as well. Like, because, again, he must have a lucky account. I don't know what it is. He must have a lucky account where he's getting all these like 4 out of 5 stats. It's like, oh, you only need like 1, don't you? No, not at all. No, no. So I don't know why he's thinking that, like, at all. 1 or 2 max for you? I get it. Same. 3 every now and then. 4 if I'm really fucking lucky. He said it's too easy. Yeah. He said it was easy to get 4 out of 5 stats. So that's where his perspective is. Because if that's what he's getting, and that's what he thinks that everyone else is getting too, then yeah, you only need 1. You only need 1 per patch. Sure, whatever. But, bro, no, that's just not the case. It's just not. It's literally random, and the RNG is not in the player's favor. If you got lucky, you got lucky. Cool. It's just the fact of the matter. And like looking down here as well, this video has 17k views, 835 likes. How Saint Tontus ruined the word ruined. I don't think it's wrong to help players reroll echoes. We all know that someone was going to dislike this idea. Defending the echo situation is pretty bad. Point of the factor is like pretty much all of his chat, pretty much all of his comment section are people saying, "I don't agree with you. No, it doesn't matter. No, you're wrong. You should know there's a difference between like all the comment section where people disagree with him. I brought it up to him. About, dude, even your own comment section is saying that you're wrong on this one. And he said, well, here's the thing, man. The people that have the issue are the ones that are going to comment. But the people that don't have issues, they won't comment. No. People that don't have issues will also comment. Case in point, when I put out my video about Honkai Star Rail, for example, there are a lot of people that did not or do not have issues with Honkai Star Rail, like as a game or like as a story or whatever, and they commented a lot. I saw them. There were a lot of them. They do comment. There were also those that did comment because they do also have issues with HSR, but just like brushing this off as saying the ones that don't have the issue won't comment, but the ones that do have the issue will comment, and that's why it looks like the way. Bro, no, that's a logical fallacy. You know it. That's a logical fallacy. People, this is your community. This is your comment section. This is your community. They are more likely to be on your side than mine. And they're like all against you. Bro. Nah. That's a massive logical fallacy. So that's the thing. That's what happened. So going back to this one, which I thought was fucking hilarious. This is someone at the beginning of the chat today. Infinite experience and showing subsets is a disaster. You just want the game to die. Your point will make it so echo leveling will only you would only need 25 level amount of experience for you to infinitely get perfect echoes. I think it's been blatantly obvious right now that I do not want the game to die, like at all. Most of my videos have been about praising Wuthering Waves. I've had some critical takes for sure, because I'm not a blind fanatic of these games. I've been in the space long enough. I've played more than enough games. I have no loyalties. Guys, I have zero loyalty. To Kuro. I have zero loyalty to Wuthering Waves. Right now, I'm covering Wuthering Waves because I like this game. I love this game a lot. If I didn't love this game, I would not make any videos about it. I would go on to another game. Because I can. Because at the end of the day, I am not a Wuthering Waves creator. I've said it before. I am not a Wuthering Waves content creator. I'm not. I'm a gacha creator. I'm a gaming creator. I'm a JP opinions creator. That's the shit I do. The reason why I'm covering Wuthering Waves is because I like it. I like it a lot. Right? Once I get bored of it, I'm going to move on to something else. I'm going to make you that promise right now. And when that happens, guys, I hope for the love of God that you guys would want to like be interested to follow me to whatever game I go on to next. If that happens. But as it stands right now, this game's doing really well. So I can't see myself going to another game anytime soon. But if it does get to that point, I hope you guys follow me there. Yeah? So, like I said, I am not a Wuthering Waves content creator at all. I make content about Wuthering Waves because I like it. And so, like, the reason because I like it, like, you just want the game to die? Nah, man. You're an idiot. That's not why I'm making these suggestions. I want this game to thrive. And I think this system, right now, is going to kill the game. Because people are going to get bored of it.
Because people do, at the end of the day, people do not like infinite RNG. There needs to be mitigating factors. And the way you get more players in is by introducing a system like the one I implemented. It doesn't have to be my system, but it has to be a system like my system. If that makes sense. There has to be something in place to mitigate the infinite RNG. That's my point. Tecton has his solution, which is fair. It's another solution. Like, remove tuners entirely and remove flat stats to reduce the pool of potential substats. That's a solution. That's fair. I think I like mine because it gives players the control, and players like to have the feeling of having control. So are you being funny right now? Why are you so smart? I'm not smart. I just have common sense. I'm not a smart. Well, actually, I am. I'm a brainiac. Like, Dr. Ratio wishes he was me. You know. Yeah. Chisek, thank you for that, but I think you're joking. Because no one thinks I look hot. Not even my wife. I'm kidding. Common sense and critical thinking. Exactly. But, yeah. Why do have common sense Gacha Gaming? I don't know. What's my opinion on the Brant Doom posting? I've spoken to a few content creators about this as well. One that I think you guys are familiar with, but I'm not going to drop their name because I don't want to be accused of drama farming on that person at all. And also, with this thing here of me responding to Saint, this, I know for a fact this is going to get twisted into drama. It's not. It's just a response. I think it's a logical response. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I've not made any slurs against him. I've not insulted him as a person. Would never do that. I've just said, the stuff he's saying, the things he is saying is stupid. The things they're saying are stupid. And this is why they're stupid. But on the Brent situation, I think a lot of people, this is a case of, can I pull a Mr. Pokey? Guys, can I pull a Mr. Pokey, please? Can I have one, please? Can I just have one? Just one. Can I just pull a Pokey just one time, please? Can I just be one Pokey? Just one Pokey. Can I have one Pokey? Can I have one Pokey? Can I have one Pokey? Just let me out with one Pokey. Please. Just one. Right. When it comes to Brant and Brant's kit, when it comes to Brant and Brant's kit, I think the people that are having issues with it, they are being greedy and stupid. Not stupid, greedy. What happens is, in my estimation of Brant's kit, is that Kuro has made Brant to have the flexibility of being built as a support or as a DPS. So you build him for DPS or you build him for support, which is support is mainly for the energy regen, whereas DPS you want to get the crit rate, crit damage, and also attack percent as well, which is really fucking difficult. But again, it's difficult. That's why people that are saying it's too difficult for him to get the it's near impossible. I'm going to quote now. It's near impossible to get the max out of his kit. And my argument would be I don't think you're supposed to. I think he was created as a flexible unit to be built as either a support or a DPS, but not both. That's my sense of things. Or not as good, but do both easier. That sounds like bad design. Neil, I don't agree. Because like I said, what would be better?
In fact, no, to be fair, they could make more money. Kuro could make more money by releasing 2 different characters that basically, like, one scales with energy regen. I mean, like Shorekeeper, for example, and does the fusion buff and all that sort of thing. And one does just scales like pure DPS. So they could have gotten 2 characters out of that, out of Brent's kit, but they put it into one to allow the players to have the flexibility of doing one or the other. Like, put one set on him to make him a support set, give him a support set, and also give him a DPS set. And depending on what you want to do with him at that day for that tower or whatever it is, then you equip the different sets, which goes into Echo loadouts. So it's called versatility. Exactly. That's my read of things. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize, but I haven't looked too deeply into it. But like, from what I've seen of Brent's kit in the game and how I understand things, my read of it is like, that's what they intended with that character. And people trying to get both DPS and support at the same time, that's not impossible, but near impossible. But it's like chasing 2 hares you're catching on, you know? As the saying goes. So that's my read of things. Brain Hex. What?
58,000 Chinese players are angry because this MOC is way too hard. They even asked Hoyo to do a live stream and try beating the MOC using only F2P characters.
Okay.
The buffs given are too specific, making players feel like they must use the newest character. It's clearly a trick for banner sales. The enemies have way too much HP. Floor 10 now has 7 million HP, while Floor 12 in the last MOC had only 6 million. That means Floor 10 is now tougher than Floor 12. And that's just Floor 10. Floor 12 must be even worse. Even small enemies have around 100,000 HP. Bosses have 1 million, and the Automaton has 600,000 HP. And this is just in Wave 1. In Wave 2, there's a boss named Nicodor with a crazy 7 million HP, and he has a special ultimate that can wipe out your whole team in one hit, which is just unfair. Because of all this, they say MOC isn't fun anymore, and is only designed for meta slaves who enjoy showcasing and flexing. And the rewards given are considered not worth the suffering that players have to go through. I'm sure global players feel the same way. So what do you think about this? 58,000 Chinese players are...
Yeah, nah, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. So, I'll use that. That's my take on the thing. Guys, we're coming up to like 3 hours right now. It's past midnight. It's past midnight for me. So, I'm gonna have to leave. Oh. Was Cap in chat? Was Captain Cabinets in chat? We're going to read Cap. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to go. I'm going to send you all to Captain Cabinets. Be nice. Be friendly. But also tell her she's a silly little cat girl. You know? So we're going to do that. Yeah, I need to go to sleep and have sex. Because I'm a man with a massive ego. So guys, yeah, I will see you all next time. It's been really, really fun. And yeah, thanks for the conversation. It's been really good. Got 4 seconds and then I'm going to say everything. Okay, peace.
Put 2 buildings there? Okay, now you're crazy.